Yeah. Yeah.
And here we go.
Yeah.
Back to the world of Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Sounds fine. Alright. Hello, people. This is Two Bros Game 9. I'm your host, Younger Bro.
I'm the host, Older Bro.
And we're back shiny hunting for some Wooloo, where this is the third stream for Wooloo, I believe.
Yes.
Alright, so let's see if we can find a shiny sheepy today. So there has been some social media updates today on Two Bros Game Night. So, both me and Older Bro have created the Mastodon account. If you guys weren't aware, if you want a link to it, it's on our main YouTube page. I posted it on our Discord.
It's also in the...
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's also in the chat if we click on the Discord, or the links to any of our socials.
Yeah, so that's been done. I also took the time to look into Snapchat today. And, unfortunately, we can't use it.
Yeah, we have found no valuable use for its services,
So, guys, the whole point of Snapchat is you are pretty much on there to meet people. It's not exactly used for, like, a YouTube channel / company.
I don't think that's fair. You're acting like it's a dating sim app, or like a dating app. It's like it's not a dating app. It's just like it's literally for you take a it was designed for people to take photos of their food and post where they were at and put a short synopsis of that.
It's taking photos of yourself, like.
No, I'm pretty sure that the original people who did Snapchat were like food people.
Well.
Hello, Monstro. But regardless, it's
hey,
like
Monstro.
Either way, it's like, yeah, we don't really do a lot of in-world photography and don't really have any need for that.
Yeah, guys. So
it's just it's not about the social aspect. I'm perfectly fine with Discord.
But
there's no need for the services.
Yeah, the main problem with Snapchat is we just can't link to anything. I literally had to make a post to clarify my last post, which. Like, my first post was, I'm playing Ocarina of Time, and I couldn't really say where it was, because the post was too short, like, the text was too short. Like, it's only, like, 50 character limit.
Yeah.
And
because
so
it's meant for something like, had great meal at blank.
Yeah. So, I literally had
so
to...
it's really not meant for us.
I literally had to make the next post be subscribe to Two Bros Game Night on YouTube, and that clarifies the previous post.
Oh, cool, Monstro. I hope you have fun.
So,
Showdown's not really my thing specifically, but good luck.
So, since we can't link to anything, and it's basically just for photos and pretty much nothing else, not like Instagram. Instagram, you can link to stuff. There's really no reason for us to use Snapchat. I know some people wanted me to use it.
For what? Like, that's the main question. It's just like,
no, like
they want you to use
when we asked what social media platforms we should try, Snapchat was one of them.
Right, I get that, but the point is, why? Like, that's the question.
Well, I didn't know.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I looked into it.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not upset with you or upset with anybody else. I'm literally like, I get the people are like, oh, you should use Snapchat. It's a big platform, but for what purpose? Like, it's.
Yeah, we just looked at it and we can't exactly use it.
Yeah, it is unuseful to us. So it's like I don't quite understand what people were like.
Yeah, Discord's more useful to us.
Yeah, Discord's like a hangout spot. Twitch and YouTube are like main platforms, but like, yeah, Twitter and Facebook and Mastodon and services like that, they're good for like getting notices out to people.
Yeah, good luck, Monstro.
TikTok is good for like short form video content.
What's a Pokemon Showdown tournament?
Pokemon Showdown is a Pokemon game, and a tournament is a tournament.
Like, is it a board game?
No, it's the competitive battle game. You know that thing that's on YouTube where you see all the people competitively playing Pokemon?
It's
That's Showdown.
That Showdown?
Yes.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
he's saying he's doing a competitive 6-on-6 probably battle with somebody in a tournament.
That's cool.
So, like...
I don't know if we'd ever do that, but...
Nope. No, we will not.
Like,
Because we are not... You hate PvP in most forms, and I hate PvP in most forms. So.
like,
Personally, we don't do PvP, but...
Like, I've
it's
said
a cool
we might
thing.
do, like, I don't know, Pokemon trading card tournament maybe, but we'd get knocked out immediately.
Yeah, it's like, that's just kind of to show up and say we did it. But it's like, no. We're not really... We don't do Pokemon strategies, and that's required for Showdown. Showdown, you have to... Let's say it this way. For Showdown, you have to understand how all Pokemon
Everything
work,
works.
how their abilities work, how, like, what kind of strategies to use. For example, you have to know what Fear Rattata is and stuff like that. You have to know what a stall build is and stuff like that. I just don't want to be last. Fair enough, Monstro. Look, if you know anything about competitive Pokemon, you're probably not going to be last unless everyone there is, like, high tier. But I don't know what kind of tournament you're specifically in.
Yeah, speaking of Pokemon card battles, I was watching See No Evil today.
Uh-huh.
And literally one of the victims played Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
And the reason why he died was because his friends saw his collection. His collection was worth thousands of dollars.
Yep.
They killed him and stole it from him.
Yeah. Of course they did.
That's why you need to watch what you display to people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll record Pokemon cards all day, and a lot of people know what I have. But
we also don't, you know, tell people where we live.
are. Yeah, he had friends in all the low places.
All the low places. He had friends that only were in his pants. And apparently in his wallet.
I've got friends in low places.
Such a weird statement.
Oh,
you know,
boy.
yeah, it's like all my friends are in the Netherlands. They're in the lowlands of Europe. Just, yeah, like what the hell do you mean by that?
Couple low lives. Anyway.
Again, but that wouldn't be friends in low places unless the places they're saying are points in their life, which is like the worst metaphor I've ever heard.
Regardless, there's some game news out right now. And, well, a lot of people already know the first thing I'm going to talk about. Dead Island 2 is out, and I'm kind of excited for it. I have played Dead Island Riptide. I didn't play the first game, but I played Riptide. It was alright.
I was going to say, like, isn't this like the 4th Dead Island game at this point? I thought there was like...
It's like the 5th or 6th, but this is actually like the sequel. The others were like spin-offs or something. Well, I don't even know that.
Well,
but this is actually Dead Island 2, and all the footage I've seen of it, fucking great.
You got 4 swine-ups in Go today? Oh, cool. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, both me and younger sis were doing the community event, and I got 2 and she got 3.
Good for them. Good for you.
I only got 2 because I had to stop in the middle and record something.
Mm-hmm. Good job. Good job all around.
So, oh well. I mean, I'm dangerously low on, like, Pokeballs, so I might have to move up Pokemon Go Season 2.
You're dangerously low on all the required resources for this game.
The problem is, with Pokemon Go, there's not... You can save up your Pokeballs, but it's so hard to keep them, like, over 200.
Monstro has no balls here. Absolutely none.
But yeah, guys, I have to literally one day probably not record it, but I have to go to like our local park or something and spend as many Pokestops as I can.
Give me a second, guys. I need to adjust the mic a little bit.
Yeah, the thing that sucks about Older Bro's mic is that the thing that he has to adjust the what would you call it? Or
The stand.
stand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stand.
Hit the stand like placeholder is stripped.
Yeah, like there's a
A washer.
yeah, it has washers on it that are supposed to help, and they don't because it's stripped out the washers, it's stripped out the nuts, so it just kind of sits there, and you pray it doesn't fall down. I'm really gonna have to replace it.
I have to tape it.
Yeah, I could do that too. I could get the pipe fitters like tape and put it in there, and that'd probably help.
Yeah. So I'm excited for Dead Island 2. I can't schedule it though, because I can't buy it at any point soon. Well,
Nope.
maybe I could, but
Younger bro, we'll see. In a few weeks, we will have more information on that.
yeah, because I still don't know if I have a job or not.
Yeah, which is very concerning.
But I honestly want Resident Evil 4 more than Dead Island 2. I'm sorry, I do.
I mean, also fair, just frankly.
But I do plan to play Dead Island 2. I do. But other gaming news, I think it just came out this week, but Jedi Survive is now out.
Yep, because I saw somebody post that they were playing it, so I believe it's out this week as well.
So I'm very excited about it. I've seen some thumbnails that spoiled some things.
As you always do.
And I'm sorry, I can't play that anytime soon either.
So, to temporarily talk about gaming and talk about Pokemon. So I was going through, last night I was struggling to sleep a little bit. And so for some reason my mind got onto Legendaries. And I was thinking through all the Legendaries from all the games. By Legendaries, I'm specifically meaning the trios. So, while thinking through it, I was like, okay. Gen 1 has a trio, Gen 1 has the bird trio, Gen 2 has the dog trio, and then technically the box legendaries aren't even part of that trio, which is what's really weird with those games. I guess Mewtwo isn't part of the box legendaries, but he's kind of a secret legendary anyways. So, yeah. Gen 1's weird because it didn't...
God damn it. What? Apparently I was that close.
Yeah. Well, I guess Gen 1's not exactly weird, but it's like... It doesn't feel like Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos are the legendaries. For some reason. Probably because of Mewtwo. But, they technically are.
Well, the thing about the first gen is they didn't display any of the legendaries on the box.
Yeah, and they could have. Moltres and Articuno are red and blue, and Zapdos is yellow. So they literally fucking could have, but they didn't.
But they didn't. I don't even think they did in Fire Red or Leaf Green.
No, they still use the starters.
They still use the starters.
Yeah.
So
it's like they easily could have. But so Gen 1's weird, but those are supposed to technically be the box legendaries in question. Gen 2, they had the legendary dogs, which are also not the box legendaries.
By the way, I do have to ask. So, if we got red, blue, green, and yellow, and Japan got green, and we got Fire Red and Leaf Green, was there a blue game with Fire Red and Leaf Green?
No.
No? Damn.
Green is... Okay, I'm going to put this into the best way possible. Green is not a real game. As in... To be more specific, in Japan, red and green are not real games. They released red and green. They then released blue, completely separately to red and green, as an updated version of the game. It was literally like DLC before DLC existed, or like a patch release. So blue is the original official games.
Yeah.
Like red and green were like buggy, shitty messes. And think about that. We think that red and blue are a mess in terms of bugs.
Yeah, and yellow for us was update.
Yes. Well, no, yellow was also their update. They got red and green, then got blue, then got yellow as the third version. They got 4 games. We got 3. They didn't even release green here because they just took blue, and then cloned it and put all the changes that were supposed to be in red, because green was like an updated version of... Or blue was an updated version of green, basically. It had all the green features. So they just took that, cloned it, and then replaced it with the red features, and then released red and blue here. So, green is not a real game here, because we just got the updated versions. So we technically never got red and green at all. We got blue and other blue. And then we got yellow, and so did Japan. So that's why I'm like, green is not a real game. Red in Japan is not a real game. Their only game is blue, because red and green are even buggier than our red and blue. So it's just like, those games are not real. So there is no... But in Japan, they also just got Fire Red and Leaf Green. They did not get a blue.
Yeah, there was no blue
basically,
third version.
Basically, red, blue, and green in Japan are 2 games that got made here. So their versions are wrong. The international versions are the correct versions, which is really weird. So, yeah. Anyways, all that random aside to side. So, the legendary birds are technically the box legendaries. Technically. For gold and silver, they have the dogs, who are not the box legendaries. They're just the trio. But then they also have Ho-Oh and Lugia, which are the box legendaries.
Yep.
This is also really weird because Suicune is the box legendary for Crystal. So why didn't they just make Entei and Raikou the box legendaries for gold and silver? I don't...
Because
it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Because Raikou isn't gold, I mean, neither is Ho-Oh.
I mean,
but
Raikou is yellow, which is a gold color.
But Shiny Ho-Oh is gold.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's something... There's weird shit going on. So... But anyways, like, their legendaries at least make sense. Whatever. Then you get to Ruby Sapphire, where they finally fix it. They have the Reggies, but the box legendaries are the box legendaries now. They're the Weather Trio. Gen 4, there wasn't even a second trio. It was just the box legendaries now. They just kind of did away with the trios. So we finally just have box legendaries.
I mean, Gen 4, there was a shit ton of legendaries.
There's a shit ton of legendaries, but there wasn't another trio. Like, the box legendaries and the trio are now the same thing. Because, like, yeah, when you get to Gen 2, technically, the Ho-Oh and Lugia are also a trio, even though there's only 2 of them. They're supposed to be the weather duo or whatever. Oh, yeah, sorry. Mesprit, Elf, and Uxie. I'm sorry. I forgot about them. Thank you, Monstro. There's 1,000 Pokemon. I forget about some of them. But, yeah, so...
I mean, they were the trio in 4. But,
yeah.
Again, there were a lot.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm only looking at, like, the trio and or box legendaries.
Trios, yes.
So, yeah, so you have Mesprit, Azelf, and Uxie, and then you have...
And then there was a trio in 5.
Hold on. Mesprit, Azelf, and Uxie, and then you have the box legendaries, which were also a trio. Because you had Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. Then you get to 5. They had Zekrom, Reshiram, and...
They didn't have Kyurem.
Kyurem's in the game.
It's in the game, but
they didn't have a game for him. But
nope.
He is the part of the trio. He is the original dragon trio.
Pokemon Gray.
But there was not another trio, was there?
No, there was. Tornadus, Thunder,
right,
and
the
Landorus.
stupid weather. The weather
They're all
quadrilogy. Because there aren't 3 of them now.
Yeah, now there's an
There's a 4th one, which fucked over that trio.
But still.
So, see, I keep forgetting the secondary trios because the box legendaries kind of supplant them. So, this is why I'm asking here. I'm actually forgetting.
6 didn't
was
have a
6
trio.
was X
it
and
was
Y.
Quadruple.
Yeah.
Those were the Tapus.
Yeah, they had the Tapus, which are the quadrilogy again. And then they also had...
Sogalia and Lunala.
Well, no, here's the weird
But-
one. So, okay, so Gen 5... No, Gen 4 sort of had this problem. Where they had, like, legendaries that almost weren't legendaries occasionally. Because, like, you could argue
Yeah,
Mesprits...
all
Or, not
the
Mesprits.
beasts.
No, I was going to say, you could argue that, like... Phione and Manaphy aren't legendaries because they lay eggs or whatever, but I'm ignoring those. That's stupid. Like, their situation is just weird. But then you get to Gen 6, where the quadrilogy, they're legendaries. The actual box legendaries are not legendaries. Because they are not from this world. They're literally Ultra Beasts. So,
They're Ultra
we don't know what the
legendaries.
fuck they are, but I'm not calling them legendaries. So,
They're that world's legendary.
but they're not. That's the thing. The game even explicitly states that there are some of our Ultra Beasts that we see might not even be legendary in their world. They could literally just be generic Pokemon. So, like, they could be starters. They could be a normal fucking Pidgey for all we know in their world.
What's even more interesting about
So
Ultra
it's like-
Beasts is there are several different worlds. It's not just one
Yeah.
world. We see one specific world in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon
Yeah.
where you actually go to a place and walk around. But in the first game, you don't do that.
Yeah, so it's like, we have absolutely no proof that they're even legendaries. Because they're not Pokemon. They're whatever an Ultra Beast is.
I mean, you can get more than one Nebby, so...
Yeah, so... I honestly, I don't understand why they can't lay eggs.
They can't.
I don't know why. You
Because-
can get more of them, so they're a normal Pokemon.
They could be mythical.
Nope, you can't do that either. Mythicals can't be found in the game until they changed that, and that wasn't at this point. So, they're not even legendaries. They're Ultra Beasts. And, what's the third one?
What?
It's Sogalia, Lunala, Necromza. Yeah, sorry. Necromza. He's also an Ultra Beast, right?
Necromza, no. Necromza is a legendary.
Interesting. I thought he was also an Ultra Beast.
We do find him in our world, but he might be connected to the
I was gonna say, can he
wormhole.
open Ultra Wormholes?
Yeah.
Then
He might be the one who caused it.
I was gonna say, then he's probably an Ultra Beast, because frankly, the only things that we ever see that can cause Ultra Wormholes are Ultra Beasts, and the legendaries in question. Where it's just like, but they're not legendaries; they're not Pokemon. So, I'd argue that's the first generation that the box legendaries aren't legendaries, because I'm not even sure they count as Pokemon. What was the next?
7, Gen 7.
Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon, then...
So they had, that was, shoot.
500 counters.
Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra
And then
Moon,
Omega
X and
Ruby
Y.
and Alpha Sapphire.
It doesn't count, we already did that game. We already did a Ruby and Sapphire.
Oh, we forgot X and Y. X and Y is Gen 7.
Yes,
Then-
I was like, hold on, I know we missed one.
Yeah, X and Y had the legendaries.
X and Y had, yeah, Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde. Which actually are legendaries.
And our trio, in a way.
Yeah, did they have a separate trio, though? Was there a Tapu Reggie equivalent in that gen? Or did they just get rid of that? I was gonna say, I didn't think so either. So, yeah, so that gen just doesn't have, they're the same thing. They don't have the separate trilogy. And then you get to Sun and Moon, or not Sun and Moon, then you get to Sword and Shield. And that's a duo. Well, no, okay, I guess Eternatus counts as the third one.
Only 3 legendaries in-game are Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde, which are a trilogy.
Yeah. So yeah, then you get to Sword and Shield, which is, Zamazenta, Zacian, and Eternatus, technically. It's like, I don't...
Yeah, there's nothing...
So, that's it. And then you get to this game. You get to, or not this game, but you get to Scarlet and Violet. And Scarlet and Violet they don't have a Reggie trilogy, right?
Scarlet and Violet?
Like,
They have a quadrilogy because of the totem Pokemon.
What?
Sorry, not totem. Is it totem? No, Ruin. Ruin Pokemon.
Yeah, right. They have the Ruin Pokemon. But they actually also don't have box legendaries. Because not only do they not have a trilogy, because there's only 2 of them, they are not legendary Pokemon. Because they are explicitly Paradox Pokemon. They aren't legendaries. So this game, Scarlet and Violet does not have box legendaries. Because it has been established there are infinite Paradox Pokemon.
Yep.
So, they just are not legendary Pokemon at all. I just thought about this yesterday, and I'm like, we've had a couple games now in the last 3 games where they just actually don't have legendaries because they're just some other group of thing. That's weird. I don't hate it, I just noticed that, and I'm like, yeah, that's weird. So, this has been your Pokemon fact of the day. And I guess Pokemon opinions of the day. Given that I've made statements about liking or not liking things. I don't know. Yeah. All that to say, I really did like the story of Scarlet and Violet. Very good game.
Story is good. Where was the voice acting? But it was good.
Look, the Pokemon Company moves at a glacial speed when it comes to changes. Arceus was the fastest they've ever changed up the formula.
One of the things that blew up on YouTube was someone literally voice acting those cutscenes, and it's and I loved it because there was literally a dialogue with your name in it. They didn't say your name; they just said "kid." I'm like, yes.
Usually they'll say, you'll either say player or kid or voice actor, whatever you can put in there.
And I'm like, kid just works so well because it's true.
Yeah, that works. It's very much works, but again, in order to get the voice acting, you're going to have to convince Game Freak that they should spend a large amount of money on voice actors to voice every character in important cutscenes. So that'd basically be every gym leader, the rival, any other ancillary rival friend characters, the villains, did I say the gym leaders? The Elite Four. Anyone related to that.
Here's the thing. They own Pokemon. They could do it.
It's not a question of could they do it. It's, again,
convincing them.
No, not even that. Game Freak moves very slowly. When you make the games for the biggest media franchise in the world, and you still don't quite know exactly why people like these games, and you don't know what you can take out and change without people getting pissed off, you move slow. It's a miracle we got Ed Sheeran to sing the credits theme in this game.
Yeah, they paid a voice actor.
No, that's what I'm saying. That was a fucking miracle. Just the fact that Game Freak actually paid for a real song.
Here's the thing, they didn't even have to use Ed Sheeran. They could have used, they already had Katy Perry do it, and before her was some rapper that I can't remember the name
Yeah,
of.
it's like they've had musicians do stuff for Pokemon, but not in the games.
But what pisses us YouTubers off is it's copyrighted to hell.
Yeah, it's probably probably shitty for Ed Sheeran to have put that, or to put that on YouTube and then put to takedown requests on it when they know it's in Pokemon games and know that people are going to post said Pokemon games on YouTube.
And again, we didn't even know that was the Ed Sheeran song. We thought that he was just making a song like Katy Perry and the one rapper. We had no idea that it was the end credit song.
Yeah. So, it was very good. It very fit with the game. It felt like a grand, like, yeah, sorry, Monstra, we can't, like, we just set the amount of time that the ads play for. We don't exactly have a set amount of ads. There's not much we can do about it.
But yeah, just... and they're probably going to do it for the next game as well.
I hope so. But anyways, to get back to what I was saying. People have complained for years, like generations at this point, of Pokemon, that the animations in Battle Revolution were better than the new Pokemon games. That is going to take a long time to get fixed.
Was it Battle Revolution or Stadium?
No, it was Battle Revolution.
Okay, just making sure. Because I did.
Because that's Genius Sonority.
Oh, Battle Revolution is also Genius Sonority.
That was one of their last like games that had like big animations to the franchise.
We'll play Stadium one of these days, guys.
Yeah.
But don't we have to beat Diamond and Pearl first?
What? You're talking about Battle Revolution.
Yeah.
You said Stadium.
Sorry. What you can do with Battle Revolution is I don't think it comes with any Pokemon on the game. You have to literally beat Diamond and Pearl and then transfer your Pokemon to Battle Revolution to do anything in that game.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, no, it's definitely a well animated game. But yeah, the people have been complaining for like what 3 generations now of Pokemon about the animations not being that good. The problem is, Game Freak it's gonna take Game Freak years, like decades, before they can hire enough animators or get a team of animators to make the animations to what the fans want. And they may have even been hedging their bets. They might have specifically not done so up till now because they're like, we're not sure the fans actually care about this. Like, we're seeing people get upset about it, but we don't know how important this actually is, and we don't know if it's worth spending the money. So it's probably something where, because that was one of the big things with Arceus was experimenting. We'll take this side game, we'll experiment, see what people like about this, and then implement those into the base game. Now, I would say they didn't implement enough, but what we got, I enjoyed it. It was definitely very open world. And again, I want to be clear that in our playthrough, we were very critical of that because we were streaming it. And streaming does not do well in do whatever the fuck you want.
Scarlet and Violet is literally Breath of the Wild Pokemon.
Yeah, it's designed that way.
What it is.
It's designed that way, and there's not a problem with that. I want to be very clear. It's not a problem to design the game that way, but when we're streaming it and trying to get through it quickly,
it's not
and
even
don't have a good idea of where to go.
Yeah, it's not a quickness problem. It's the fact of there is no clear path.
Yeah, you're expected to spend time and find the path for yourself, and that's the point of the game. That's the genius thing about this. Game Freak said, we want to make an open world game, and so they designed the story around that concept. I don't think a lot of people have talked about this, but the whole story about you being a student and choosing your path and going off and doing what you want and just experiencing the world as a brand new Pokemon trainer, that story was written that way because of the open world.
Hello.
Hello, random
Random.
username. I would
Um,
argue that's not that random if you're actually saying it's random.
Here's the thing. I think they could have made this work in 2 ways, or work better in 2 ways. One, they have a quest system where it tells you where to go first. Like, go beat the melee gym, go beat this gym, go beat that gym. Or, every gym adjusts to your current level.
Well, that's the problem. The problem is they explicitly didn't do that. The whole point of this game wasn't. Like, that's the thing that a lot of people playing it don't get on their first, like, when they're first starting the game. They're just like, because, like, we even had Mr. B, who specifically checked to make sure the gyms didn't change level to you.
Yeah.
They're not meant to. It's
Yeah,
not even just they didn't think of that. They explicitly didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah, what you actually have to do, guys, is while you're traveling to, like, the first gym, you literally have to keep throwing your Pokemon at wild Pokemon. That's what I did on my Scarlet playthrough, and I was, like, 30 levels above where I was when I played Violet for you guys.
Yeah, like that's.
I
will
wiped
say
the floor
because
with the last fight.
Because again, their whole point was they literally wanted you and every single person playing Pokemon to experience the story of that kid. That's why you didn't get to choose what clothing you got, because it wasn't about you. You are not the main character of Scarlet and Violet. I don't know, like anyone listening to this. You personally, unlike every Pokemon game in the past, you are not the main character. That kid is the main character.
I think I'd have less issues with it if you got a diploma and graduated, and by the end of the
Maybe.
game, more clothing options are available. I would have
But
accepted
again,
that.
but that's the point.
But
You're
sorry, guys,
looking
I
at it-
just don't like that you
I
don't
get it,
have a lot of
but
clothing
you're
items.
again, it's
options.
you're looking at it. The reason you want more clothing options is you want to be able to put a character you want, either be you or someone from an anime or whatever. You want to design a character for the game that fits you in some way. It's not about you. The game is explicitly not about you. That's why it's like, that's why they didn't do that. They explicitly, purposely didn't do that, because they don't want you to customize the character that way, because they want the character to be that kid.
Still, like,
They want you to see what it's like to go through a game. Basically, let's put it this way. You know how in every JRPG there's a main character? An RPG from Japan.
Okay.
Or any RPG. It doesn't matter if it's JRPG. But if you've ever played any kind of Final Fantasy game, or Resident Evil game, or any kind of game where you play as a certain person, those characters are themselves. They aren't you. That's what Game Freak was testing here. If they could have given you no options, and they thought they could get away with it, they probably would have done that. They probably would have just actually removed the options entirely.
That would just be a classic example, but
But that's what I'm trying to say. I think Game Freak was actually seeing if in the next game they could remove all the character options and make it be Link, basically. They want to make a main character in this region that isn't you. They want it to be that guy's story, and you get to live through his story.
yeah.
But it isn't
I don't think I
yours.
like that.
Yeah. And I think I don't give a shit about that, frankly. It's like I've made my peace with that. I don't care about collecting all the clothing. I don't care about designing my character. I care about enjoying the story. That's what Pokemon's about. It's about getting the Pokemon and going through the Pokemon world. And I don't care if that's as me or as Wes from Coliseum, or as fucking Leaf. It could be Leaf for all I care.
Like, I'm not saying I hate Scarlet and Violet, guys. I just hate that that's their mindset with
Yeah.
clothing.
No, I'm saying that's not their mindset with clothing. I'm saying that's their mindset in everything. That was the basic idea behind this game. They wanted to make an open world game. And they wanted to, and they designed the story around that.
But here's the thing, they did that in Arceus too.
No, they didn't do that in Arceus.
That was
That's
open world.
no. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Arceus was not open world.
It just had several maps.
It was a very large map. It simulated an open world game, but it was not open world.
I think Arceus did better, though.
You can't say that. And I actually mean you can't say that. Because they're not comparable. Arceus is just a larger closed map game. It is linear. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was not designed to be linear. It, in fact, doesn't want you to do it linearly. Because it wants you to experience going through as Ash. Ash didn't know what gyms to go to. He just ran around till he found a gym and beat it. He ran around till he found Team Rocket and beat them. And that's what they wanted to simulate here. They wanted to simulate a 10-year-old kid who's given a free reign to run across the region and experience the world.
But
And so you've got your 3 friends who are all saying, hey, come hang out with me over here and do this thing right now. Hey, come over here and hang out with me and do this thing right now. And you're right to say that something like a quest system would have improved that. And I'm not disagreeing with that point. I want to make that clear. I'm not saying that something like a quest system wouldn't have made that experience a little bit more...
Like, I get that's what they're trying to do that, but the problem is, when you happen upon a gym, say you go to the ice area early, you get fucked.
Yes, and what you're supposed to then do is leave.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do that. And that's what the game is telling you. The game is telling you, you are wrong. The game is telling you, you are in the wrong area.
But here's the thing, I'm
Go
sure
back
there's...
and find another path.
I'm sure there's, like...
Or you could just go train for an hour and a half if you really want to. But, like...
Like, I'm sure there's ways to do it. Like, you would basically have to know Pokemon moves and stuff, and I don't know how to do that.
You could... and that's the thing. You might be able to do it. But, again, that's the point.
Like,
You're not
beat it
intended
with a level 1
to do
Starly,
it.
but...
Well, yeah. If you want to do stall strats, and if you want to do fear Rattata strats, really want to kill every single Pokemon in the game with 6 level 1 Rattatas, you're fully welcome to do that. But the point is, the goal of this game wasn't to be a normal Pokemon game. It wasn't meant to be a linear story about you going from starting Pokemon Town to being the champion of the Elite Four. And all the things, like, you went to this town and saw Team Rocket, you defeated Team Rocket, you beat the gym.
Yeah, if you don't want me...
It's meant to explore.
If you don't want me to compare it to Arceus, then I'm comparing it to Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild did it better.
And I can agree to that to some extent. I'm not sitting here and saying that this game was perfect. I don't think it was. And I think that future games will be adjusted based on this game. I'm assuming future Pokemon games will probably stay open world. Maybe not this open world. It might have more linear stuff. Questing, like, stuff attached to it.
They, like...
Because that was the great thing I loved about Arceus. I loved the idea of you were just given a quest by a random person and says, hey, I need you to go and catch this Pokemon for me, because I suck at catching Pokemon. Could you go get this thing for me?
I loved that.
Like, that was so fun. That made going to every house fun. Because you never knew what you were gonna find.
And here's the thing, like, they even had, like, point markers on these characters to say, hey, this person has a quest. Like, there was no, like, go get items from people anymore. You go get the items yourself.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that Scarlet and Violet was perfect. But what I'm saying is they were trying something drastically new with that, with the Pokemon formula. And they don't do that very often. And I do want to give them praise for that. This was a pretty big departure from how Pokemon normally works. It was in no way a linear game. And we made it the most linear we could possibly make it by literally following a guide that says, here's the best place to go next. Here's the best place to go next.
Thank you, Mr. B.
I can't see what.
He's not here. I'm just saying he helped us with that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, sorry. Understood. I thought he
No.
he did something. Okay.
Not even
Yes,
here.
thank you, Mr. Bit. So, I mean, he could be here. I don't know. Sometimes he's just in the background, not chatting. But you're probably not here right now. So, but not the point. Point is, they tried something very new with the franchise, and I do want to give them credit for that. Because people have gotten very mad at Game Freak for not trying new things. People have complained for years that their animations suck, that they should fix their animations, that it doesn't make sense. They don't have voice acting in a modern day AAA game. And let me be very clear. I get that Game Freak does not get 100% of the revenues of the entire Pokemon franchise. But they are the biggest media franchise in the planet. These games outsell Call of Duty. Call of Duty has thousands of employees. Game Freak does not. That's a problem.
Well, they're at over 1,000 now.
Yeah, but Game Freak is nowhere near that. And again, I understand that Game Freak has other companies that work on this. Namco Bandai assists. Creatures Inc. assists. There's several companies. I think Square Enix has helped out several times. They have a lot of teams and companies that assist them in making these games. So it's not just Game Freak. But at the same time, if you're failing in a certain aspect according to the audience, and you're not really innovating in that aspect, you're either doing it on purpose or you're incompetent. So people have gotten pissed about that, because they're saying to Game Freak, you look incompetent, or you are stupid. So I want to give them credit where credit's due when it comes to this game. They tried something new. They don't normally do that. And after Arceus, I do think that they might finally be at the point where they're saying, yeah, we do want to take bigger risks with the Pokemon franchise. We do want to make bigger changes. So I want to praise that, but I do want to agree with Younger Bro. It's not a perfect game. There are things that I think they should improve upon and add back into the franchise from older games, including Arceus. Here's the thing. I do like, on some level, designing my character. I enjoyed designing this character in Scarlet and Violet. And I'm not going to sit back and say I don't understand why Younger Bro's upset about this. I do get it. I'm not saying he's wrong to feel that way. So I do think that putting those back into future games would make a lot of sense, unless they do want to just go straight up, you don't get any choices, you're gonna play as May in the next game.
And that I'd understand. Because
I don't know.
In Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I wasn't even expecting any kind of costume change or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, it was
Apparently-
also a straight port.
Yes, but apparently there was. There was actually clothing options, but it was only like 5 choices, and
It was limited, but
it was fine. But I understood that because it's supposed to be a remake.
yeah, it's a remake. The original game didn't really have that. This game's not going to really have that.
Exactly, so I'm not going to be mad at that. But newer games, when you get to design your own character,
Yeah,
kind of has a Xenoverse feel.
Yeah.
Levels of
And
designing characters.
And I agree with that. The point I guess I'm trying to make is, I don't think it's fair to a game to say, hey, we're not giving you the same level of clothing options as before because we don't want you to make any character.
I'm not saying it's a bad game. Just
I know.
It doesn't
I'm not
have that.
accusing you of saying it's a bad game. That I want to be clear. I'm not accusing you of saying it's a bad game because of this. I'm saying you are saying this game did something wrong by doing this. And I'm saying it's not necessarily wrong for them to do that. Because for example, I don't to give an even more general statement. This is a problem I have when people come and say, it's the 2020s. Every single game should be like full 3D models and like 4K graphics. And I'm just like, no. Let me make that very clear. Not every game should have 4K graphics. not every game should even have 3D models in them. Many games are designed intentionally to not have 3D graphics, to not be 1080p, because they're meant to evoke a certain style. And if your way of looking at games is just to say, this game isn't 4K graphics, 1080p, 3D models, it doesn't look perfect, game 0 out of 10, then that's a failure on you as a gamer. And again, I'm not saying Younger Bro saying that, but that's the mindset I hear when I hear this argument of like, well, past Pokemon games have had clothing customization, and it's been bigger than this. And in this game, they reduced it, and I think that the game is worse for having it. It's like, I can agree.
I'm just saying there could have been more than 8 options.
Yeah.
And if you wanted more options, I would have loved it and accepted it. If you got through all the school stuff, you would get those clothing options.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Because you're graduated, you're not going to school anymore.
I can agree with that if they intended you to be graduate. That's the point. It's the problem of if the game designers don't want to do that, as in they don't want the story to be about you graduating.
Yeah, we didn't even
They just want it to be your time at school. Then I can't fault them for not doing something that's outside what they want the game to be about. It's like saying that a game that has a solely single-player focused mode should add multiplayer or something. Like, that's the kind of mindset that I have on this, of like, if the game's not meant to be about multiplayer and that's not within the scope of the game, you can't get pissed they don't have it. You can be disappointed, but that doesn't make the game worse for them not having it. That's a disappointment you have.
Yeah, I'm not saying Scarlet and Violet is bad because they don't have this option. I was just very, very upset that they didn't.
Yeah, and I can agree with that. We're on the same page. Even though we keep having this conversation every time we talk about the clothing options in Scarlet and Violet, we always end up at the same point.
I just hate that they didn't have more options.
Yeah,
That's
plain and simple.
I
can understand
I'm not saying
that.
Scarlet and Violet is a bad game.
I agree.
I just hate that they did.
I know.
Because here's the thing: in real life, we used to have a school code. Well,
a lot of schools still have.
At first, we didn't. Then we did, and then we didn't again for a couple years, and then we did again.
Yep.
And everybody I know under the sun hated it, including me.
Yeah, so it's like I understand
to
people not
have
liking
a.
that.
So I guess part of my hate for it is because I hated the school code in real life. Yep, I hate it in game too.
Yeah, but I can also sit back and say, yeah, you can dislike it, but I'm still gonna watch a show with schoolgirls in it that have the generic schoolgirl outfit, and I'm not gonna say, oh, well, I'm disappointed they didn't have more clothing options. Like, if that makes sense. It's like, I don't know.
And that's your opinion, and my opinion is I hated it.
Yeah, so, I don't know. See, we come up to this problem every time that we discuss things like this, because one of the problems with critique is there's a fine line between opinions that are opinions and opinions that are wrong. If that makes sense. How's the best way to word this? People love to say there are no wrong opinions, but there are wrong opinions. You can have a bad opinion that is not based on any facts or any logic at all. It's not impossible to have bad opinions or completely wrong opinions. So there is some level where it's like, okay, you feel that way, but you are wrong to feel that way. And I don't know where that line is, and I love to poke at it.
The only two things I disliked was no sense of direction and the clothing.
Yeah, and I can agree with at least the no sense of direction. The clothing, I could take either way. But I'll say it this way. I don't think future Pokemon games are going to be quite that focused on a single character. So, I'm going to guess future games, it'll be a just a general person. But who knows?
I don't know if they're gonna do the school thing again.
I don't think they'll do the school thing specifically.
I'd say if they did, it would have been so great to have like a graduation ceremony. We didn't really get that. What we got was you unlocked a tournament.
Yeah.
It's almost like the school is the battle stadium from Sword and Shield.
I think the best way to describe it is like, that's the thing with, I think that's the thing with the story, is the story even kind of does, like, set that up, where they weren't going to do that. Because that's the point. You aren't, the way I'm going to describe it is, you are not going to a Pokemon Academy. Most of the schools we think of in the Pokemon world, is the trainer schools. This is not a trainer school. This is your actual school. As in, like, K through 12 education school. Like, this is a real actual school you go to and you learn math classes.
This is like a college school.
Yeah, but again, you're 10. So this isn't even a college. This is literally your middle school. You're going to be here for another 5 years, probably. So that's why it's like you didn't graduate, because you being a Pokemon champion and all that stuff, that's just a side benefit.
But to be fair, we don't exactly know how long it took to start at the academy and then go all the way through the story in-game. Like, that could have been months, years.
Oh, it was months, but well, no, we do actually know that. We know that because we know you started at the school, and we know that this is over summer break. So you were there for 1 year, or maybe 6 months, however long, whatever point you got in the term when you moved here, or when you started at the school, you were there for up till summer break. So I'm going to say you were there for the first year. So you probably have another 4 years at this school at minimum that you're going to have beyond this. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, there's no graduation because you aren't anywhere near graduating. You still got like 4 years of middle school education at least. Hell, we see some guys in here that are like, what, 30 that are students?
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's like, I don't know. That's the thing about this game that we don't really have a concept for. It's just like, yeah, this is like an actual school. This is their, like, they still have to learn math. The next year they have a health class, finally.
Yeah, another thing they could have done with the clothing was you can't enter the school unless in a uniform. Could have done that too.
Yeah, I could see.
Would have been annoying.
I could have seen them do that. Like, this is one of those weird things. We were talking about this in an anime recently, where we were talking about the concept behind, like, can a school require you to, like, not do certain things outside of school? And that's the thing. In Japanese culture, that is a stigma. Like, that's a real thing. It's like, in the US, we don't really have that concept. Like, once you're off school grounds, it's like, it's not the school's business, really. There's been some cases recently that have been like, yeah, the school can take some action against you if it's at school events or it's related to school in some way. But, like, yeah, in Japan, no, that's more or less a thing. The school can say, hey, your summer break, you're doing this grand activity as part of the school program. You're still a student during that. You still have to wear the uniform the entire time. You cannot wear whatever clothing you want. And it's like, I don't know. Is it right? Probably not, but you don't have to be here. You could be in Kanto. But you decided to come to the fucking, to Spain for some reason. I don't know. It's just weird. But I like weird. Oh boy, it's been an hour already. We had an entire hour's worth of conversation about Pokemon and other things. Holy shit. I need something to drink.
But yeah. Speaking of clothing, they actually did add more clothing, but again, it's only like 4 options.
Yeah, they have additional spring, summer, fall, and winter uniforms, right?
Yes, and the only way you get it is if you pre-ordered the new expansion coming out.
Ooh.
So you have to pre-order that, and then you have to go to the advertisement, and in the advertisement there's like a tab on there. You click the tag and you receive the clothing. And I looked through all of them, and I'm like, best one's still the winter clothing in the original.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I think that's probably the best takeaway from this. You are not going to. I don't think the next game is going to be you in a school. So I don't think we have to worry about the same kind of thing. But just imagine because think about it the other way. Imagine the Pokemon Company actually did what the fans have always been asking for and had a game where you play as Team Rocket. Would you be upset if they told you, no, you literally can't choose anything but these 3 Rocket uniforms because you're with Team Rocket and you literally have to dress like Team Rocket?
Might as well be Coliseum 3.
I mean, it could be. That's the thing. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, that'd be a situation where I don't think anyone would complain about it. Because, like, we're playing as Team Rocket, and it makes sense to be dressed like Team Rocket because we're playing as Team Rocket.
Couldn't you still wear the Team Rocket uniform in Heart Gold and Soul Silver? Like, even after that?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it couldn't. You can't. Don't they have the Team Rocket uniform in this game? Or in, like, no, not in this game. It's a Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Don't they have a Team Rocket uniform? You can just wear that throughout the whole game. So, yeah. That's,
and
I think
did.
So. Yeah. So it's like
it was the best looking like clothing for my character. I'm like, yep.
Yeah. So, I guess the point that I just want to make is that I agree with you that I can agree with you that I think that the clothing, the lack of clothing options makes sense for it being in a school and the school saying this is the dress code. I can understand and agree to some extent that I don't think they should do that in future games. This should be the only game they do that in.
I don't even think there's any differences between male and female school codes for Scarlet and Violet. I think it's all the fucking same.
Yeah. They might have slight differences in the exact dimensions and stuff for the girls' and males' clothing, like on model, but like otherwise it's the same thing.
No, it is the exact same.
Yeah,
I don't even think the girls wear skirts. I can't remember.
I don't know, but
I'm pretty
look,
sure
the model has to adjust for something.
I'm pretty sure the female characters still also wear trousers.
It's like
trousers.
Trousers! They have to adjust for something on the girls, at least, you know. But
anyway.
They have to at least have some shadowing lines. So, but all that to say that I agree with you that it's disappointing to some extent.
In Scarlet and Violet, where there's not even differences between the male and female.
But I guess the whole point that I always want to make whenever we have this conversation is I don't think it would be a problem if they said you're playing as May, you get no clothing options.
Then I play as May.
Yeah, but it's like, in that situation, it wouldn't be a problem to say there's no clothing options because you don't have any. You're May. But it's like, I think I agree with you. If they want the character to be you, basically, I think they need to pick a lane. Either they need to make it be a character, and they should remove the clothing options to make it just that guy. Or, if they want you to be able to design the character and make it feel like you, then they should have a lot of clothing options and make it completely open. So, I think we can agree on that. It should be either or.
I would have even been fine if there was more school clothing options.
Yeah.
Like, this amount of clothing you can accept, but they only have 8 options, and I'm like, no, that's weak.
Yeah. Well, again, a lot of the clothing options were supposed to be for, like, the accessories and stuff like that.
The additional 4 clothing options were just recolored versions of the same.
I was going to say, they're supposed to be the summer clothes, I think.
Not even that.
Not the summer ones. It was like
it is. They have a.
Was it the beach
spring,
options?
Summer, winter, and autumn options. That's it, and each one of them. And they also had an additional
Spring.
summer, and
Yeah, but I
autumn.
can't remember.
But it's for the next academy in the expansion, because there's a different academy in the expansion.
I thought there was 2 different options for every spring, summer, fall, and winter.
No.
There was.
No, there was only one.
I'm pretty sure they did, because I'm reasonably certain I remember switching between them, being like, no, I actually don't like these 4 variants. I like the other 4 variants. So I'm like 99% sure they had something.
Nope.
No,
they only had a spring, summer, autumn, and fall version in the original. They added an additional spring, summer, fall, and autumn version when they made the expansion pass, and that is the pre-order reward.
I didn't pre-order, so I'll find out.
You get those clothings because those are supposed to be the clothing for that new academy coming out. I don't know if it's an expansion of the academy we've seen Sword and Shield, or if it's a different one. I'm pretty sure it's a different one. So just that is the spring, summer, fall, autumn, and winter variants for that academy.
Fall, autumn. But yeah, hold on, I got this. By the way, Game Freak, stop using Algerian.
You also get like an additional like bag and like accessory stuff.
It's like I've got Scarlet here. Give me a second.
I think you get a hat and a backpack as well.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, here's one thing. So they just recently had a backpack that is a Great Ball. Well, it's the colors of the Great Ball. The only way you could get it was by entering a competition. And I think you had to do 5 battles. It's the Zapdos. The shiny birds thing. Where you have to go in, you have to battle like 5-10 trainers, and then you get a code saying, hey, you get shiny Articuno. You had to do that. I'm like, nope, not doing it.
Okay, how do you change clothes in this game?
Down on the D-pad.
No, that's the camera.
Up on the D-pad. I know it's the D-pad.
There we go. Okay.
I don't even remember if you could change the color. I don't think you could.
It was,
It should be in like your
it
tops.
was left on the D-pad. Trying to get the thing to actually adjust.
Yeah, the only other clothing option besides your dress code option are accessories.
No, yeah, you're right. It is just one. I was thinking there was like a separate second version of each uniform.
There is if you pre-order.
Well, no, I'm saying I thought before they even announced the new DLC.
No.
Like
No.
like when the game first launched, there were 8.
Nope.
So that's why I was
They added the other 4 as a pre-order bonus.
Yeah. So, yeah.
The only reason I call it a pre-order bonus is because you only have so long before you can not get them anymore.
So it's a pre-order bonus. That's I think the definition of a pre-order bonus.
I'm just saying, like, after a certain amount of time, you will not be able to get those additional clothing options even if you buy the DLC when it comes out.
Yeah.
So is it worth it? I'd say if you want more clothing options, sure.
Yeah.
But other than that, I guess you don't have to pre-order it. Oh, by the way, did you hear they basically added I think the turtle that we're gonna see in the first expansion pack, it's gonna evolve. Yeah, they kind of have a pre-evolution for it.
No.
I don't know anything about it. All I know is it was in the most recent anime, the one without Ash.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know much about it either.
I don't know the name of it, but I do love the design. I love it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a turtle that I think evolves into like a horseshoe crab. That's kind of what it looks like.
Cool.
Or maybe it's like a mixture between the two.
I need to go to the bathroom, guys, so I'm gonna be right back.
Dee. By the way, guys, when older bro gets back, might talk about Twitter stuff. I've been encountering a lot of Wooloo with Runaway. Still not shiny. Nope. Meh. Sorry guys, I know I'm running into a lost Skwovet, but I don't have a shiny Skwovet, so I might get lucky running into a brilliant Skwovet and it be shiny.
I'm back, although my brain feels very out of it right now. Which is very bad.
I think we should explain some Twitter things.
Explaining Twitter things. Oh.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll try to form coherent thoughts for a bit. Alright. So yeah, guys, younger bro looked into his social media thing. We also looked into our social media thing. So we set up Mastodon, but Twitter decided that as part of their big changes to Twitter, as part of Elon Musk's big changes to Twitter, he decided that people need to pay to access Twitter. I don't mean the end users, because frankly, I don't think he thinks he can get enough money out of people. No, so anyone who wants to access their API at all, like to even post anything, has to pay Twitter a fee. So we literally cannot use our social media manager to post to Twitter anymore, and most other social media managers can't post to Twitter anymore either, because it would cost them money.
Which is why we're on Mastodon now.
Yeah, well, we already planned to be on Mastodon anyways, in case Twitter did something stupid and made it so that we couldn't reasonably use Twitter.
But it's absolutely
And so now they've done the thing that means we can't use Twitter, so we can't use Twitter.
Well, here's the thing, guys. I'm more or less willing to post to Twitter, but I'm not... It's not going to be to the degree that we're doing Mastodon, where I'm posting about every video. I'm just going to use our Twitter from now on to post, hey, we're now playing this series.
Yeah,
basically, what my younger bro account was doing is now what Two Bros Game Night is going to be doing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, honestly, you could keep doing it on the younger bro account. We could just not use the main account or whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, it's really not going to be used that often. So either way, no matter what we do, it's going to be very unused.
Yeah. So I am willing to post on our Twitter.
Because for anyone who doesn't know, like, Mastodon has a full 500 post count in the same way as Facebook, so it's a full-on social media, like, posting app. So it's like there's not really a lot of our posts I literally can't post to Twitter because I would have to actually rewrite them. Because that's the thing with all of our posts, guys. Whenever we posted to Twitter and Facebook, all the posts were designed for Twitter specifically because we literally can't, like, there's a limit on Twitter, and Facebook has a much larger limit. So,
yeah,
all of our posts were in shorter because Twitter couldn't accept them any longer.
I post manually to everything, but I pretty much post the same post every time. As of like a couple months ago, I now keep our posts short, my posts, short and sweet. Like, with Ocarina of Time.
I was gonna say, because you post to things like, more like Twitter and Snapchat kind of things, where things are shorter length content anyways. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, basically, like, open season...
Because Instagram also has a short length, right? For their posts? Or are they full 500?
They have a short character limit for their tags and hashtags.
So, for posts.
No, I can like write a paragraph in Instagram if I wanted to. Like,
so then what do you mean by their tags?
Hashtags. I have like
hashtags are part of the post.
Yes, but I'm saying the only limit is hashtags. I have a 30 hashtag limit to every post.
Oh, okay. You're just saying you can't put more than 30 hashtags in a post. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm just talking character.
So, otherwise, yeah. I have not hit Instagram's character limit. If there is one.
Oh. I'm sure there is, but
it's like 5,000 or something.
Yeah. At some point, guys, we may actually like pay for a service and standardize all of our hosting, but that's going to be a long time from now. Because, you know, that costs money, and we don't have a lot of it.
But yeah, guys, like, when I post something, in Open Season's case, I just say it's Open Season. And that's all I say. Yeah. And then I link to the playlist.
I was going to say, yeah.
The reason I have to keep it short and sweet like that is because of Twitter.
Yeah.
I can't even get all of our hashtags in on Twitter occasionally. Like,
yeah. You have to customize the post for Twitter because they're the shortest.
Yep. So
But Facebook and Mastodon have the same post link, so a lot of our posts are actually end up being longer now because I have more room. So yeah, there's already been a couple posts that we've had where I couldn't have even posted them on Twitter if I wanted to, and I don't want to. Let me be very clear.
and that's the nice thing about
That is the one
Mastodon.
thing I do not like. For anyone who's like, well, why don't you just post to multiple platforms, like manually? And the whole reason I got a social media manager was specifically because it is so arduous to post to multiple platforms and have to design posts for multiple platforms that I just didn't want to deal with the hassle.
That's why I have all my posts basically universally the same thing.
Yeah.
And
Well, and that's what I did with the social media manager, but I did it automatically. So it's like I don't have to waste time typing up the post in Twitter, copying the post from Twitter, scheduling the post in Twitter, which I actually can't do. That's the other key point, guys. I actually can't schedule posts for Twitter because the software does not work with our browser, and I'm not even sure it works with any other browser. I think I struggled trying to get it to work at all.
Yeah, guys,
But-
I do all my posts manually,
Yeah.
by hand, and it takes me an hour.
So, I do all of our posting in the mornings. I have 5 minutes. So, having a social media scheduler is non-optional. I have to have that just to be able to post. So, yeah,
Then
since
again,
since our social media
You only
platform,
post to 2 things.
that's true. I only post to 2 specific.
I post to like 7 different things.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. We could absolutely in the future coordinate that because, for example, we use Social Champ. I've talked about Social Champ. It's very excellent. I really love it because they just give you free analytics. I didn't want the analytics. They give it to you anyways. Like, I literally just wanted the ability to schedule posts.
The thing about Social Champ is I don't even know why I can connect Social Champ to.
Oh, you can connect Social Champ to almost anything. You can connect Social Champ, like, hold on. Let me just go to Social Champ's website, and I will tell you all the things you can connect to.
Like, I don't even know if I can.
Not sponsored.
I don't even.
Guys, you may hear a sound in a minute for Discord booting up. Apologies if it does. It shouldn't play that.
Like, I think it could maybe connect to Discord and Reddit, and that would be fine. But I'm not sure if it would post to Instagram and TikTok. Our follower count on TikTok's kind of catching up with our Twitch. We're at over 100 followers on TikTok. But guys, I'm not gonna do anything special on our YouTube channel just because, hey, we get like 1,000 followers on TikTok.
So, Social Champ, for at least the free version. I believe the paid version doesn't have any different types of accounts, but I can't confirm that. You can paste to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming that means they posted as a Google post now.
No,
Or
it's
on a YouTube post.
it's
I'm not
YouTube
sure.
posts.
Yeah, I think they posted as that. I'm not exactly sure, but they have those. TikTok, Google Business, Mastodon. So they've got quite a bit. They don't have Snapchat and a few of the other like bigger social medias.
Instagram.
Yeah, no, they have Instagram.
They do?
Yeah.
I don't know. With yeah, I just don't know.
Yeah. So just to be clear, guys, it's like, yeah, at some point we could update and have the paid for service, and that would allow us to post to Twitter. But frankly, I don't. Here's the thing: I actually kind of don't like being on Twitter anymore. People are probably just gonna be like, oh well, of course you don't like being on Twitter anymore. It was taken over by like a Republican, and now all the content is Republican. But it's just like, it's not even that. It just,
His decisions is just
a lot of his decisions just don't make logical sense in like even for a business.
But anyway,
Like, I understand that Twitter wants to make money, but here's the thing. What a lot of companies, this is not just Elon Musk, a lot of different people have said over the years that Twitter is under-monetized. But what they don't understand is that the reason Twitter was, in their quotes, under-monetized is because the way they monetized was by ad revenue. They realized very quickly in their existence that users don't want to pay to talk to people. That pisses them off. Why do that when you can go on Discord and do it for free? So it was not competitive to charge the user base. That's why they make their money in ad revenues. That's why Facebook was so pissed off when Apple said that they were going to update their service. Hello, Carpet.
Hey, Carpet.
Sorry I didn't see you for a second. I was like, I had something over the screen. That's why they were so pissed off when Apple updated and said that you have to give people the default of opt out of like all this different advertiser tracking and stuff. And it was opt out by default, and they could opt in if they chose. And they got so pissed off because they knew no one would want it. Because if you're literally told, hey, would you like Facebook to know more information about you? The answer is going to be no. Of course you don't.
Anyway, with talking about YouTube posts, we use YouTube posts for votes. We don't really use it to post saying, hey, we're doing this series now because...
I mean, you can visibly see that.
You can...
We could technically use it for, like, update notices, but, like, again, that's not really something that we've really needed to do.
I mean, that's what the videos are for.
Yeah,
like, that's what all the videos are for. So we're not going to spam everybody's notification tabs with posts about...
That's what I'm saying. We're going to do it either way. It's going to be either spamming their notification with a video or spamming their notification with a YouTube post. But what I'm saying is, yeah, it's like...
We don't want to use YouTube posts for saying, hey, we're now playing Ocarina of Time.
No. I was saying we could use YouTube posts like how we used to post like update videos on YouTube. It was like the computer's broken. We could do the Discord messages on YouTube posts if we really wanted to, but it's just like.
But we haven't really.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to. Glad to hear it, Carpet.
Yeah, we were just talking about it near the start of the
Hopefully
stream.
we'll be playing that game somewhat soon. Don't know when exactly, but...
No. I can't promise that, guys.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do, guys.
Like, we have a better chance to play Resident Evil 4 sooner than Jedi.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not promising anything, because I don't know.
Like, guys, I would love to drop everything and play a lot of the newer games for you, but we can't. We have a schedule, and we gotta keep to it. And I keep to my import, and my import is preventing me from playing.
Again, guys, I would like to once again state the fact that outside of any monetary restrictions at the current time, Younger Bro and Younger Bro alone holds himself to that schedule. He is perfectly allowed to, is encouraged to, and I've even explicitly told him to space out his imports and stop worrying so much about them. But Younger Bro does not care.
I did.
I know. I'm just saying that, like, the imports are a self-imposed restriction, and I want to make that clear every time we talk about this. This is not Two Bros Game Night making this requirement. It is Younger Bro making this requirement.
Like, guys, trust me when I say I do have new series coming. They're just not all the series that are coming out now.
It's only certain ones that you've said, I'm definitely playing these first, and other ones you're saying, I can wait on that. Yeah, it is what keeps the balance. Speaking of schedules, guys, I did finally finish the anime update schedule. So we do have the next 5 series scheduled. We also completely changed how we are doing scheduling in the future, and all how we categorize anime in the future, because it turns out I'm an idiot. As I have long since known, and so it shall be forever.
But yeah, guys, talking about my schedule again, the reason I'm so adamant that I need to get my imports done as soon as possible is because I know that if I put them off, it would take me 20 years to get through all of them. Maybe longer.
Yeah.
I am playing new series to the channel with my Let's Play.
Yeah.
And my Let's Plays are fine.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I know I'm replaying a lot of games because of our Channel 5 anniversary.
Yeah, but it's whatever.
But
oh, we probably should check for those. Since we don't exactly have an order for them. We have an approximate order, but we should probably also make sure...
I ordered them.
Well, I was going to say, in that ordering, we should probably also make sure that, like, when possible, we should play games that came out more recently, later in the list, than ones that we played in the past.
I can't really do that.
I was going to say, I don't know how possible that is, but if it's possible...
A, can't do that because of how I have to space them. Like, there's not... Like, some of these games are in the same franchise, so...
Yeah, and there isn't much we can do about those.
Yeah, so I have to spread them out.
Would you believe younger bro has played too many those games?
I have to spread them out as much as we can, and it's also not a length issue because I played all these games in, like, year 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And we're at year 5.
That's true, so most of them are probably fine.
So, trust me, they're spaced out fine enough.
Okay. That's fair. I didn't know if there were some that were a little bit sooner that would be a problem. I think those are mostly strings, right? There are a few strings.
I'd say the only ones that are sooner that could be a problem is I play like, say I play like Jurassic Park and I had like another new series coming out that's Jurassic Park.
Well, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not talking.
I'm also adjusting for that as well.
Yeah, I'm not talking like the same franchise. I was just saying I didn't want us to have a game that we played in like year 3 and be like, oh, we're playing it again that soon. But like, if most of them are year 1 and 2 anyways, then I don't.
They're all year 1 and 2.
Yeah, then it's fine. Then it's fine. But yeah, no. I am happy with the new anime scheduling. Just, it actually worked out. It looks very nice. It's a lot easier on both of us. And it means that you guys are more likely to get some returning series. Woohoo! So yeah, guys, for context, as a reminder, the old system for anime scheduling was that we had... well, actually, let me pull up my list. Hold on. I have to actually remember which ones we had and which ones we didn't have. Yeah, Carpet, we did see the new Hunger Games movie. I have it written down. It's...
Yep, yeah, that got announced a while ago, and I talked to Older Bro about it. It is written down.
Younger Bro actually was not the one who wrote it down. I wrote it down because he didn't have it on the list. I was like, how did you not see this one?
The reason I didn't write it down was because we didn't have a release date on it yet.
No, I think it does have a release date now.
It does have it now.
Because I only put series on that list, I think.
And I saw the new trailer for it. Like, I saw the announcement trailer for it. We didn't exactly have a release date yet.
Yeah.
And now we have an actual trailer for it. I'm like, yes!
We also probably do want to keep up, check in on that list every so often. Make sure there's no other upcoming series that we might be missing. And more specifically, make sure the release dates have not changed.
The reason I haven't looked at it this week is because I have a lot going on.
No. Yeah, I'm not saying this has to be something we do every week, but, like, maybe something we do once a month or something like that. So, this is more something I'm telling me that I need to remember. It's like, hey, I need to look those up every so often so that I make sure we know.
But yeah, very, very excited for a lot of upcoming movies. Like Hunger Games, Equalizer, Indiana Jones, and the Godzilla movie are all pretty up there for me.
Okay, so yeah, guys, we used to have 9 tags because we used to categorize all series by if it was an action show, if it was a fantasy, if it was an isekai, if it was a slice of life, a romance, a harem, especially, comedy, parody, and then if it was a school-based show. So I initially cut school, which is still gone, and comedy, which I added back in. So, and then I also added in sci-fi, adventure, drama, and supernatural. So we now have 12 things we sort by. So I cut 1 and added 3.
That's cool, Carpet, but I don't know what Twisted Metal is.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard about it, but I don't know what it is either.
Still speaking about my streams list and my mobile list. I did not used to, like, schedule in newer series with my import list because I wanted them done as soon as possible. Now I actually have to.
Yeah, he really does.
Because I have like 6, maybe not that much, but like 4 Dragon Ball games. I'm like, how am I going to space them out? Same with Pokemon, and
yeah. I think I've asked about this, but like because right now we actually have Tenkaichi 4 as the literal top stream on there. That's just because whenever it comes out, it's day 1.
yes.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
like,
guys,
we do not
Budokai
have that,
Tenkaichi 4 is at the top of the fucking list.
even though it's literally unplayable. because
It's
we don't have
unplayable, but it's like, nope, doing it. Like, that was my Pokemon XD. So, them announcing the
I
next
forgot I
game.
was gonna look up that date.
I don't think there is one yet.
Yeah, I don't know. if there is
600
any.
encounters.
Kill people using your car. Oh, cool.
Oh, Twisted Metal. Oh, is that the one where that one clown guy's from? It's... Oh, what's his name? He fought Joker in a death battle. Can't remember. Sweet Tooth, yes! Oh, they have a show coming out for it? Okay. Okay, yeah, I know what it is. Yes. So, that's interesting. I didn't know there was a show coming out. Alright, cool.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll play Twisted Metal. I've thought about it, but I know we'll probably play PlayStation All-Stars, which is their PlayStation Smash game. And Sweet Tooth's in that, so.
Yeah. But anyways, to get back to the anime, the thing that I mainly changed, like obviously we added a few tags to sort by. That's not a big change. The thing I actually changed was the amount of series we sort. So for context, guys, we used to sort 50 series. Now that sounds like a lot, and it was a lot. But we also resorted every 5 series, which we're still doing. So that means we sorted 50 series and then threw out 45 series. And part of that was for variety, because I wanted to get a lot of different series together and then do my best to sort out the next best 5, and then we just keep doing that, cycling. But even I think that's ludicrous, so I've now cut it down to 20. So it's now younger bro suggests 6. I suggest 6. There's 3 season 2 shows, or just sequel shows in general, and then 5 other shows that are just random, which just allows me to like interspace different things. So it is significantly sped up the amount of time it takes me to sort shows, because I'm not sorting 50 shows unnecessarily. We never said we were intelligent. So.
But yeah, guys,
I will say, before Younger Bro goes, the next 5 shows I think are probably some of the more like diverse in terms of like the different types of content we're looking at. Like, it actually looks very mixed, and so I'm very proud of the next 5 shows.
Great. So, guys, still speaking about my schedule, I want to talk about it a little bit, because you don't have a lot of information on it, and I don't mind talking about it. So, my import list, how close are we going to be done with importing? Not within, like, the next 5 years. That might not be a joke.
Yeah.
So, with my stream list right now, there is less than 20 games that I have to import.
That's going to take a long time.
However, I have to add like an additional 10 on top of it to space them out.
Yeah.
So it's still going to take a while for streams. The other thing I don't talk about a lot is mobile's also an import.
Yeah, we don't really talk about that because it's just like, it doesn't matter.
But mobile is definitely going to get done sooner than streams. Like, mobile will probably be done within the next 2 years.
Yeah. So
Maybe less.
We'll see. I don't know when we'll get done, but we'll see.
But I've had to redo how I do mobile series because off camera, me and my friends have been playing a lot of games together. And I'm like, you know what? We can record this content.
Yeah.
And one thing about mobile series is when I play multiplayer series, guys, we usually take long ass breaks occasionally. Like sometimes 3 months. The longest break we had was like 6 months. And the longest break now we've had is 8 months.
Oh God. Why?
And I've noticed that my Discord isn't very active. So I'm like, you know what? How to make this more active? I'll just tell my friends, hey, I'm pretty available. Maybe they'll invite me to their channels. Guys, I have not even been approached by Blue to do that. I've only been approached by one friend, and that's Mr. Sparks, and he hasn't gotten around to editing the content I recorded with him.
I still believe that has been thrown out.
And he just asked me to play. He wants Roblox Season 2 already. Yeah. So, I had to redo my mobile list to include sooner multiplayer series.
Yeah.
So, I was going to wait until I had my import done, but if I would have done that, guys, our break would have been 2 years plus.
Yeah.
Because I basically had no multiplayer series left.
Yeah. I will say season 2s are definitely, that's part of the reason I also did this anime change. Because one of the things that I've noticed is that we
have a lack of season 2.
Well, it's not even that we have a lack of season 2. It's we have a lack of season 2 when they're not immediately after season 1. If we don't do both seasons back to back, we have never done a season 2. Ever.
Well, here's the thing. The anime stuff on our channel is just as bad as Shiny Hunts. Like, we only get 2 videos a week. So we could get to it sooner, but we can't do that because we're not full-time yet.
Yeah, guys.
Once it gets full-time, I think it would start going faster.
Yeah, guys, as we've talked about, if we ever get to the point where we are able to actually, like, do this as a more full-time thing. And, well, okay, I'm going to actually open this up a little bit. Because we always talk about, like, if we ever get to this being full-time. And I want to be clear, I don't actually mean full-time when I say that. What I mean by that is The vast majority of the time that we spend on Two Bros Game Night is editing Two Bros Game Night. Like, that's just a fact of, like,
Well,
recording in general. Of, like,
when we say full-time, we have, like, a couple editors editing for us.
that's exactly what I mean. When I'm saying full-time, I'm not even necessarily mean that Two Bros Game Night, younger bro and older bro, are getting paid. What I mean by that is, like, we have an editor or two that's handling the editing portion of Two Bros Game Night, and we're able to record more things.
Yeah, and right now we're only able to edit the gaming content.
Yeah, it's like we just do not have further time. So.
And that's why Shiny Hunts, after every so often, is being moved into a mobile slot, because that means I make more time for
I was
Shiny
gonna say,
hunting.
it's that, and also, more specifically, it's because you want to play the newer games.
But also complete the older games.
Yeah, so.
Because, in a way, guys, I count this as a series.
Yeah, which is very strange, because technically we do not count this as a gaming series. This is sort of our podcast.
I know, but the problem is, if I don't do this, I might not get every shiny myself.
Yeah, so. Well, and that's the thing. There's 1,000 Pokemon, and the odds are not in your favor. So, that's somewhat of an inevitability, unfortunately.
I know part of the problem right now is I'm not using exactly the best strats. Like, if I wanted to 100% do the best strats, it's Masuda method. There's nothing better. Except for Let's Go Pikachu and Arceus odds.
Yeah.
So, in the other games, there's just nothing better. And I don't want to just do egg hunting.
Yeah.
I find that boring. I hate egg hunting.
So, yeah, and I agree that I like the variance that switching back and forth methods does. So, I don't want to discourage that in any way. But it is going to take a long time. We both know that. And that's why this is more of a podcast where we just talk about the channel more than and talk with viewers. More than it's actually a game.
When I move into a mobile slot, it's going to act like Pokemon Go, where it's a compilation of me finding like 3 different shinies in one stream.
So yeah, in those series, it's not even going to be like it's literally just going to be it's going to be
my
old
own
school.
Time.
It's going to be the old school shiny hunting stuff, where it's like you're going to see the end result. You're not going to see the build-up. So.
Yeah, because I can just cut out a lot of footage.
Yeah, you'll cut out 99% of the footage, in fact. There just won't... It'll literally be like 20 minutes of video for like 30 Pokemon or whatever, and instead of 75 hours.
Yeah, I'm a shiny hunter, and as a shiny hunter, I know all the stuff that people are here for, and one of the things people are here for are the reactions when you find the shiny. That's why people watch shiny hunters, because some of them go crazy for it.
Yeah.
Like, guys, I didn't record it, and I really wish I did, but there were 2 moments I didn't record on Arceus right now, and I found like 3 shinies back-to-back, didn't record it, but they were extra Pokemon anyway. Then I found another 3 shinies back-to-back, and 2 of those were new. I was like, God damn it.
But all that to say, we're getting kind of off topic, but all that to say that when I talk about we do this full time, it doesn't actually mean we have 100,000 subscribers and we earn, $400 a month, or well, maybe presumably a little bit more than $400 a month. But you know what I mean. That's not what I mean by that. I mean specifically that with that type of content, that we are paying an editor or two to do the editing for us so that we can add new series.
Yeah, and also we can't... Here's the thing. The top YouTubers only make like $500 a week on just YouTube.
I was going to say on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, and I want to be clear. We're not expecting to make money on YouTube ever. And I think if you expect to make money from YouTube, and even to some extent Twitch, if you expect to make your money from those platforms, I think that's a little bit naive. In the sense that, look, Twitch's payout isn't the best. YouTube's payout isn't the best. I don't think that that's against contract for me to say, even as an affiliate. I don't think that that's a surprise to literally anyone. Like, that's...
I mean, well, one day will we have ad revenue from YouTube?
Yeah, we probably will. Honestly, we actually might not. let me be clear with that, guys. If you guys, like, we probably need to set this as, like, a goal at some point. But, like, if we get enough, like, payments from, like, Patreon or Ko-Fi, I actually think it's supposed to be called Coffee because you're supposed to be buying a coffee.
Yeah,
but it's
exactly.
spelled
You
Ko-Fi,
are
but
the top YouTubers are making money from all these different platforms and not just YouTube. Because
they sell merch.
you can't just live off of YouTube because it's not enough.
Yeah.
You'd afford maybe a small little apartment at best.
So again, all that stuff that I don't think needs to actually be said. It's just that's what I mean when I say if we're full time. But anyways, all that to build up to say, if we get to the point where we have full time, we have the second channel designed. Like, we don't have all the artwork and stuff for it. We don't have all that, but we have the schedule. Like, we have written down, like, this is where the hot takes are going to show up on the other channel, and they're not going to be on Two Bros Game Night anymore. This is where the anime is going to show up, and here's where we're going to add a second anime slot that's Monday through Friday.
Yeah, that's
and here's where we're going to add the, like, cartoon slot where we're looking at, like, Western cartoons that aren't anime. Like, I have a separate show that I've not talked about that I have already scheduled that's a weekly show on that channel. So, we have a schedule for it. But we don't have the time to record and edit that. And some of the content in that is gonna, like, the series that I have planned, I don't know how it's gonna work, but it's gonna be edit intensive. It's not gonna be as simple as, like, the stuff we do on Two Bros Game Night, because we do a lot for this channel, but most of it is actually pretty simple. We sit in front of this camera.
Well, it's definitely simpler now.
Yeah, but it's like we sit in front of these mics, we record our audio, we record the game, and we edit it and put it up on YouTube. That's a simple process, even if it's got a lot to it. It's a simple process. But I have a series that is not going to be that simple. It's going to be, like, very involved. Like, Mother's Basement, like, level involved. Like, large production.
But
so, we've got that stuff set aside. We just don't have time to record or edit or do any of that.
Yeah, speaking of ad revenue on, like, YouTube, guys, we are currently unable to do it until we have 1,000 subs.
Yeah, and I want to be clear, I'm not even sure. At 1,000 subs, we will do it. I want to make that very clear. So
we'll think about it, we'll discuss it, but only when that happens.
Yep. Because, again, a lot of the things with monetization on YouTube is that copyright is a bitch, and it just means that our series get fucked over because of random copyright claims, that most of which are not really valid.
Yeah,
but good luck telling YouTube that. I don't think I need to go into that.
I mean,
it's every creator ever.
I'd say if we can still make a little bit of money off of it, like, maybe go with it, sure, and just ignore the series we can't do it on.
See, I think I prefer the opposite. I think I prefer the improving the user experience. It's, to me, you're gonna get a lot more money from people saying, "Hey, you don't run ads on your channel, and you put all this work into the channel. I'm gonna throw you some money every month," than you will from YouTube actually paying you for those damn videos.
Yeah, I don't know, guys.
No.
Like,
but we'll figure all that out.
Like,
later.
I also can agree that YouTube's policies are shit.
And again, and like I've said before when I've talked about copyright, not all of them are YouTube's fault. Some of them are just the actual law's fault. Yeah, like for example, one of the things that we have to deal with whenever we become like a full-on business is we have to actually like have an owner of the business. And by that I mean you have to like give a name for the owner of the business. Like, we just put for all of our stuff that we're older bro and younger bro. That's not really legally feasible for a real business.
Are you saying like trademark stuff like that?
No, I'm saying that when you register an LLC, like an actual company, in order to have a real company that earns money and employs people, in the US, you must register it with the government, and you have to say who owns it, and that has to be publicly available to anyone who looks it up. So, like, you can go look up the owner of literally any business. That's legally required. Well, that's kind of a problem when you are a channel entirely designed around not letting people know who you are. So, there's, on some level... Oh, cool, Monstro. Hey, you're not in finals. You're not last. That's, you got what you wanted. You're not number 32 or number 16. So, good on you.
But yeah, guys, we'll burn that bridge when we
burn that bridge when we come to it. I love that people say that phrase and nobody bats an eye. It's just like, what? But it's just so good.
Yeah, right now we need to focus on almost to 500 subs on YouTube.
Cannot believe that in any way.
Like, guys, we have been going up like quite a bit in like the last 3 months. Like, we've had a new subscriber nearly every day. If not every day, at least once a week. But
I was gonna say, I think it's a little bit more than that, honestly. There is a very, very high likelihood that we will get to 500 subs before June.
But yeah, guys, I have said what we're doing at 500 subs. We have the 500 sub special ready. We're doing Last of Us Part 1 and 2 back-to-back. But I still haven't done Miles Morales and Spider-Man Remastered back-to-back.
Yeah.
So I need to get to that first.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have another break with Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm going to be playing that at some point after we beat Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. When is that game coming out again?
3 weeks from now.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely aren't going to get to that first day.
No. So, I'll get to Tears of the Kingdom when I can. Then, maybe either after Tears of the Kingdom or just after we play Spider-Man, that's when we can do Last of Us Part 1 and 2. Because I don't want to do Spider-Man Remastered and Spider-Man Miles Morales back-to-back, and then we do Last of Us 1 and 2 back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even afford to do that right now because we'd be playing Last of Us on the PS5 and it's a $70 remaster game.
Yeah.
So I can't afford it right now anyway, guys, so I'd probably have to wait till birthday or Christmas.
Yeah.
At my current state of affairs, so...
Yeah.
So will we get to it this year? Maybe?
I want to say, I love how much we... It's just a side note. I love how much in these moments, like, I love to say, like... I love to say, hey, we should get off these, like, heavy topics and talk about other light things. Because we treat this like a podcast, but every time we start talking about actually us and get into the heavier topics, we just tend to be like, can we stop talking about this?
Problem is, we like talking about it.
Yeah, that may be a bad thing, but it's...
I like talking about our schedule. They can't see it!
That's true, but... I get the feeling that it does get quite boring for people, where it's like they're just talking
There's
about
not
their
a lot to
random
talk
problems.
about right now, so we're talking about scheduling stuff.
Yeah, so...
And we're reassuring people that, yes, we are getting to the 500 subs because we already promised something.
Yeah. I think younger bro may be regretting that he promised that thing, but...
No, like, again, even if it wasn't Last of Us Part 1 and 2 back-to-back, we'd still be doing a 500 sub special. It would either be yours or mine.
Well, yeah, but...
Oh, that is something we should talk about. Every time we have a special, should we both have a special at the same time?
I don't think we necessarily need to do that, but I just think we just need to have an event.
Like, if I do a 500 sub special, should you do a 500 sub special?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think we need to do that. Like,
I mean, we're technically doing that with the 5th anniversary. You with Hollow Knight and me with
well, but that's for completely different. Yeah, that's for different things. Like that's, yeah. But I guess, but I'll think through that. I'm not sure on that, honestly.
But I just don't know what
Yeah.
the either bro in whatever situation would do. If someone's doing a series back-to-back, what would older bro be doing? If it... Like, I'm not sure if he would want to do a back-to-back series. I don't know if we want that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, he plays a childhood favorite game or he plays a viewer favorite game, which could work.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, we technically have a list of all of the favorite series that you guys like on our channel. Like, that's our Christmas list.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure if we need to, like, lower yet. Like, right now, guys, how our Christmas list works is we play any of your guys' favorite series around Christmas that have over 100 views on the playlist. So, Danganronpa, for example, over 700 views. Well, we can play that on Christmas. We're not going to.
By lower, we might need to mean raise, as in like we might need to raise.
Yes,
the
sorry.
requirements for
We
this.
might need to raise the requirements. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if we're at the point where it's like, okay, we should raise it to like 1,000 views on our playlist.
As I say, I think there's only a couple series that even come close to that.
But right now, the Christmas list isn't that long. So I want to say if it gets to where it's over like 100 series or more, it's when it's probably an issue. For Christmas specifically. I guess it's not that long right now. But guys, also keep
No, it's
in
really not.
mind our special list. We could just pull from it any time. Like,
Yeah, the special series are kind of temporarily there.
it's
And that,
kind of
like-
telling us what games we can play around Halloween.
And Christmas and whenever. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like all the series are available whenever.
Yeah, and Christmas is a touchy one.
Yeah.
The only reason Christmas is because there's not a lot of Christmas-themed games. Well, there are, but they're not.
So you want to talk about touchy crap? That's the touchy crap right there. Where I have to redo my dang list because of that game being the next one.
You've had to reschedule it for a while now.
Yeah, I still haven't redone it, but look, I've been too busy redoing other things. I still have to do like 3 different series description problems, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, right now Scarlet and Violet has
Yeah.
a lack of descriptions.
It really does. I've absolutely failed to do a lot of descriptions for that series. It's terrible. I've done my ever-living hardest to make time to do all the Hollow Knight descriptions and not fall behind on that one because I just refuse to fall behind on the descriptions for Hollow Knight.
Like, right now, the only series that we're very far behind on descriptions is
This is
Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, I think all the rest of them are a couple episodes. They're not.
Yes. But I
That's
haven't,
just we missed.
I haven't looked at Three Houses yet. Three Houses is the last series I have to look at.
Three Houses was behind before Scarlet and Violet, and I went back and made sure that one was up to date. So if there are missing videos, they should be only a few, not the whole series.
Yeah, guys, even though our docs doesn't say it, I'm actually almost done with all the Year 5 check descriptions and such.
We still have to do, again, our bigger project, guys, which is the download all the videos project.
Yeah, I have all the mobile series currently, like every video, it's already good.
But I still need to order 2 new 2-tera drives.
Yes.
So that's gonna be a in progress thing.
Yeah, while we're out, I might have to get you a new stand.
My stand is perfectly fine. What are you talking about?
Your mic
Oh,
stand.
yeah, the mic stand. Okay, sorry. I'm like, yeah, my stand for all the dang drives. I have a drive cabinet. Like, okay, it's a wooden drive cabinet, but it's a drive cabinet. It's like, that's fine, it's fine. I spent weeks finding this damn thing because apparently it's very difficult to look up shelf for drives. I'm gonna be standing up for a little bit, guys, because I am exhausted. Also, it's 2 hours and 11 minutes. Oh, hey, Mr. B, we were talking about you earlier.
Mr. B.
How you doing?
Yeah, we hope you like all the changes we're doing to Two Bros Game Night this year. God dang it, I encountered something in the grass.
Only awful things, I hope. Well, we were talking about Scarlet and Violet,
And how you helped us
And,
with the story.
yeah, and helping us with the playthrough by giving us the guide.
So if anything, we were praising you.
So unfortunately, no.
Praise thee, Lord Mr. D.
You're gonna either make him mad or way too happy. Like, you need to calm down, man.
I am Lord Mr. B. You will fear me.
Younger bros statements do not represent Two Bros Game Night.
Oh, you're
Guys,
a cute little
okay,
goomba.
actual real statement, guys. There is a part of me that worries about this thing actually. I do worry about the day where we're gonna say something and me or someone else is gonna have to put out an actual legit statement that's, we apologize for the comments of younger bro or older bro in this moment.
We did that for a video, though.
No, we did that as a joke, but I'm saying, like, as a legit actual, like, people get pissed off and we actually have to post a, like, an apology.
You have to get on the Your Excellency trend, or else he'll come and cut your head off.
I'm pretty sure that Mike Richards does not have the ability to come and cut our heads off because he does not own or in any way pay for Two Bros Game Night.
You do not know the connections he has.
Look, I will say, Mr. B, all jokes aside, if we get to the point where we're full-time and you are the primary cause of that, I'll call you whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, clip that. That way you can replay it.
Clip that! Mr. B didn't even clip Bertha getting stuck in the ceiling.
Actually, it's your word against yours.
It's your word against yours. Look, we have Mr. B being the executive producer. We have an opening that for the King Bro at some point. That is an available thing. That's
You mean
technically
Middle
no. I mean the actual King Bro. That's an available
that was
slot.
Father.
Once we move out, he will no longer be the King Bro because fuck him. But that is an available opening, and the Patreon has a tier of reward for the King Bro. Look, I'm not against admitting that I can be bribed.
He's in Mr. B's mind. He's like, "Yep, I'm gonna play this when I apply for that position." You said if I was King Bro, you would call me whatever you want.
No, that's not what I said. It's in fact the opposite of what I said. We're broke now!
This is Kangaroo Court.
And there aren't even kangaroos here, they're all Goombas!
We the jury, find the Goomba guilty.
I'll be back in 2 months.
My french fry mashed potatoes!
Yeah, you will all rule the day when I come back. I will bring justice upon all of those who damned me.
French fry mashed potatoes. We plea insanity upon this Goomba. French fry mashed potatoes.
Oh, I also fear that day where I have to walk into court and actually enter a plea of insanity against younger bro.
I use the game's control sticks to control character. Oh, I'm playing games to get shiny Pokemon.
No, that's still a bit.
I am the shiny Pokemon.
I mean, we're literally pastel-colored Goombas that are basically shiny variants of normal Goombas, so...
And I'm Sporticus. Sporticus Frieza.
But where is Brutus?
Oh, Vegeta was Brutus.
Damn it. Wait, Caesar isn't supposed to kill Brute. Oh, whatever. I don't care. The play's already all unhinged. I don't care anymore.
Oh, this is the opposite. This is the version where Caesar kills Brutus.
That's the really funny thing about the history of Rome. Like, Brutus came in and killed Caesar.
Well, him and a bunch of other guys.
Yeah, they all came in and killed Caesar for...
But
yeah.
Brutus was...
But it's not like that actually stopped Rome from being an empire. Like, they just found a different emperor, basically.
Yeah, Brutus killing Caesar was probably the biggest betrayal because wasn't Brutus his best friend?
Yes. That's why the phrase is et tu, Brute, which is even you, Brutus. It's literally like him screaming out, even my best friend killed me.
I want to watch that movie now. It's a good movie.
Well, okay, actually it's et tu, Brute, because it wasn't called Brutus in Roman. No one cares.
Oh, man.
But yeah, it's not even like that stopped Rome from being an empire. It fundamentally, like, that's what people don't really understand about Rome. The way Rome was set up, it fundamentally had to be an empire. That's why Caesar did it. That's why Octavius after him did it. It's like Rome wasn't working as a republic.
Yeah,
it wasn't able to structurally function.
Like, I can't remember from the movie because it's been too long since I've seen it.
I don't even know if I've seen that movie.
What exactly did Caesar do wrong? Was he just a bad guy?
No, so the way that here's what you gotta understand. The Roman Republic was set up in a way where they did not want people... Okay, let's start from the beginning. The Roman Republic was made up of Romans. It was made up of, like, the people from the Italian peninsula. A lot of different people groups kind of merged together to be called Romans, but the original Romans was from Italy, that region of Italy, and they had a culture kind of similar to Spartans. In the sense that... In the sense that they just really loved conquering people and assimilating their technology and then doing their technology better than them.
Okay, I want to make sure this is me. I keep seeing, like, lag on my end. Have we experienced any frame drops?
No.
Then
so,
it's just me.
So yeah, Mr. Beast put a good TLDR, but I'm going to go through a bit less TLDR. So, the thing with Rome was that because Rome had a lot of people who were, fighting all the time and trying to go out for personal glory, Rome was set up in a way where they had 2 leaders. And those 2 leaders were co-rulers that they only had, I think it was 6 months or a year term. And then they could never be leader again. Ever. It was literally to prevent anyone from gaining any political power, basically. However, the problem with that is, because they had a year to be leader, and then never again, that meant that they all really loved going off and getting personal glory by going and invading a new place. That's why the Roman Republic got so big, why it had so many different provinces, why it stretched all the way down into Africa and took over Carthage and took over all this land, because all the leaders were really I've got a year for people to remember me. Fuck it, I'm going to invade Iberia. I'm going off to invade Egypt. I'm going off to invade Afghanistan, because why the fuck not? Somebody needs to remember me, and the only way they're going to remember me if I go off on these grand journeys and win battles for Rome. That was how the Roman Republic was just structured. So, Caesar didn't like that. He saw that there were problems in the structure of Rome, and that there wasn't really a way to fix them. And also, he just really didn't want to give up power. So, what he did was he took his army and crossed the Rubicon. The Rubicon was the river that, that protected Rome, basically. And there was laws in place that said no army could cross the Rubicon. No army could enter Rome. Because that way, there couldn't be a military coup. So he staged a military coup. He crossed the Rubicon, brought his army into Rome, and became the emperor.
Oh.
And so Brutus and many of his people killed him, and they hoped that they could return to a republic. But again, part of the reason why Caesar had to become the leader of Rome as an emperor was because their culture was literally about going out and conquering places. The Roman Republic was so big and vast, it literally couldn't function as a republic. So what they did was they ended up having new leaders, and one of them just killed the others and became the emperor anyways, and then they stuck as an empire. Because literally it couldn't function as a republic anymore. It was too big. They needed more direct control. So, it's like Caesar was kind of inevitable. Otherwise, Rome just couldn't grow any further. And if you're a Roman, Rome has to grow further, non-optional. So, yeah, it's like they kill Caesar, and then his one of his other friends, Augustus, literally just comes in and becomes emperor. It's just well, what the fuck was the point of this? I really wish, though, that Mark Antony would have become the emperor. Fuck Augustus. No, quite literally, the thing with Mark Antony was, remember, Mark Antony is the guy who went off and dated Cleopatra.
Really?
Yeah. And if you watch the history of Cleopatra, her story is fucked up. Because her entire family, yeah, her entire family was really fucked up in that they were basically known for killing each other constantly.
Oh god.
So, she had this entire plan of because she originally dated Caesar. She was going after Julius Caesar, and then he died.
Yeah, here's reality right now.
Yeah.
So reality is, in murder cases, well, who is the first person you think of? Family. Or significant others.
Yep. So, and there's a reason for that. They have the most to gain.
And I think Cleopatra is a classic example of that.
Well, and that's the thing. The thing was, she actually did kill her a lot of her relatives and established her own children in in Egypt. But part of her reason for doing that was specifically like, I want to end this stupid cycle of everyone killing each other. So I'm literally just going to be like...
Was she like one of the best mothers?
It's not even that I think she was one of the best mothers necessarily, but it was literally just that the way that Egypt was built, Egypt was structured along the story of Horus and Isis, co-rulers, brother and sister.
Okay.
Also married. Also have kids.
Oh god. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's their gods. So originally it was her and her brother. But because her family loves to kill each other, her family tried to kill her. So she just like, no, I'm just going to kill my brother, and I'm going to install my son as Horus. But it's going to be very, very, very clear to literally everyone looking, I'm in charge. There is no co-ruling. I'm in charge. So she just literally led by, no, I'm just going to put this, I'm going to be in charge and end this shit right now. There ain't going to be any more family violence.
Enough of this.
We're done with this shit. So, she was a very powerful female ruler. But yeah, Mark Antony came down. She was financially broke and fucked over because, like, you know, not a good enough army and, you know, all the things that rulers usually have happen. So, like, she got with Mark Antony because she really wanted him to rule Rome. She wanted Egypt and Rome to be co-capitals of the Roman Empire. She specifically, because one of the things with Octavius is everyone thought he was going to be the next ruler because him and Caesar were close and they were kind of adopted. He was kind of like the adopted son of Caesar. Cleopatra literally was like, yeah, I'm going to specifically make Caesar's sons in line. She was literally going to, like, take some of his, like, sons who were, like, illegitimate and make them legitimate under Mark Antony as rulers of Rome. So, like...
That's cool.
He really did not like Cleopatra doing that. But that's also why we remember Cleopatra.
I encountered the thing in the grass. Like, literally, the Wooloo was above the grass encounter.
Yeah. So I want to be clear. Like, I'm butchering the story. Like, look up the story of Cleopatra. Look up Extra History's story of Cleopatra. But yeah, it is absolutely true that Mark Antony was way too busy banging Cleopatra to rule Rome. Cleopatra would have ruled Rome. He was too busy.
Being in love.
And that's why people were uncomfortable with it. Because they basically, everyone in Rome was like, if we let Mark Antony take over, Mark Antony is going to move the capital to Alexandria, is going to move the capital to Egypt, and Cleopatra will run Rome. It's not going to be Mark Antony doing shit. So, was Octavius probably a better emperor in terms of actually doing shit? Probably. Do I really want a future, or like a world where Cleopatra ran Rome? 100% I do. Mr. B, I am a male. And I don't date males. So, Cleopatra. But also, even if Mark Antony was... But even if Mark Antony was female, still Cleopatra. Like...
Yeah, he'd like to date Katy Perry.
It's just like...
I'm coming at you like a dark horse.
I feel like she could have dropped the S in that.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, no, it's... Yeah, it's... No, it's... Cleopatra has very few rivals in terms of... Like, who are you gonna throw up there as, like, women that are, like, universally sex symbols? Like... Who? Marilyn Monroe? Like, what other females are you gonna put up there with Cleopatra as, like, the most, like, drop anything you would fuck them? Like... Mr. B obviously doesn't have to answer this question. Bjork? You mean Bjorn?
I'd say anybody that's pretty popular in like music, maybe.
I don't know if anyone has the same level as that though. Like, yeah, that's Bjorn. His name ends in an N. We're talking about the same person. I'm pretty sure. Hold on, I'm looking this up. The guy who won Eurovision multiple times, or who was at least the, like... Hold on, I'm gonna look up Bjork. Oh, no, you do... Okay, sorry. Yeah. Bjork. Three-octave vocal range? Shit. 3 octaves? Like, what? Are we talking tenor to soprano? Or are we talking alto to, like, ultra soprano? What the hell is her... What is her range? Maybe Sean Connery. Yep.
I'm Sean Connery.
The women love him, and the men also love him.
Fear thy name, that is Sean Connery.
Damn it, now that I've talked about Bjorn, I'm gonna have to listen to the chess song again.
I was in Red October.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah, that's that. Now here's the question, Mr. B. Is it because it's Ryan Reynolds, or is Deadpool Ryan Reynolds any different?
I was in Red October. 21st.
Straight men for sure have a crush on Ryan Reynolds. I wouldn't be surprised about that either.
Guys, we've hit the bad. We are at 666 encounters. I'm waiting for one of these hunts to get to 666.
If any of them, it would be the black sheep.
Have you any wool?
But yeah, it's like I can get that. I've heard people say that about Bjorn, actually in Bjorn. I don't know Swedish music well enough to know if that's true. Pretty sure it's Sweden. Now I'm gonna have to double check. By the way, I still need to turn off notifications on Mastodon because I'm getting notifications every time you share or heart one of the posts. I'm like, damn it.
I have to turn the air conditioning on. I'm sweating my ass off over here. Alright guys, I'm burning up real bad.
No, I mean Bjorn. Oh, sorry, it has a J. I forgot, it's Bjorn with a... One of the singers in ABBA... Wait, that cannot be the same.
Oh, goddamn rookie D.
No, that can't be right. Hold on. Hold on. think that actually might be the same Bjorn. Let me just make sure of that. I want to double check this. Because I'm getting two different Bjorns. And I'm like, I don't think those are the same person. But unfortunately, my keyboard doesn't have the dang symbols for this. Oh, no, sorry. The Bjorn who is known as Bjorn is, was the guy who did Hooked on a Feeling.
I'm high on the lead.
Yeah. Well, sorry, to be clear. He is not the original musician who did Hooked on a Feeling. He's the one that everyone knows when they hear Hooked on a Feeling, because it's the one that Guardians of the Galaxy used, and also the one that everyone thinks of. But he is not the original Hooked on a Feeling singer.
Yeah, going back to speaking of sub count, do you think we'll hit 1,000 subs this year?
Unlikely. This year?
This year.
No! Sorry, I was like, no. I'm like, wait, let me just rehear that. No. Look, we will almost certainly hit 500 this year, but I don't even think we'll hit 600 this year, let alone 500. Fuck off, man.
I think we'll hit close to 600.
Fuck off.
Well, for all
You are delusional.
For all we know, one of our videos is going to get like
You are delusional.
2 million views the next day, which can happen.
Yeah, that has to suck for the guy from ABBA, or ABBA. Sorry, I keep saying ABBA. Because they are both called Bjorn. With the same dots over the letters. So it's like, ooh. Yeah, I can set up the AC. Give me a second.
Yeah, guys, it's getting close to springtime. Well, it might be springtime now. So, it's getting very, very humid in Older Bro's room. Plus, I'm kind of a chumby Goomba, so I get hot quicker.
I mean, to be fair, the state we live in also just has a lot of humidity to begin with. Like, that's just common. So, like, even in winter, we have, like, humidity. But yeah, especially in spring and summer, it starts getting very wet.
And guys, the place I'm going to possibly be working in next week or two, it's going to be hotter than hell.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be loading semi-trucks.
Who is better, Bowser or Doug Bowser? Hold on.
What?
I need clarification, Mr. B. You mean normal Bowser, or you talking about other versions of Bowser?
Doug Bowser.
Doug Bowser is the CEO of Nintendo of America, who just has the last name Bowser, and
him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand what you're talking about, Mr. B. They're the same. It's the same picture.
Peaches.
I love that they leaned into that a little bit. I really wish they would have leaned into that more. Of like, Nintendo of America has been taken over by Bowser's army. Like, really wish they would have further leaned into that than just the original.
The only path to true happiness is death.
It's so good. But no, I loved I still loved that people saw in the direct when they announced him taking over Nintendo of America. People saw in the background, why are Mario and Luigi have like a Nintendo, like an NES controller, like strangling them? It's like, because he's Bowser! Like,
He's Bowser.
What part of this is out of character? Just like, it was so good. But the answer to that question is actual Bowser, like, in all honesty. But like, Bowser the character is very interesting. Young Bowser is a novelty one-off that's interesting, but then just becomes a generic CEO.
Super Mario Bros. 2.
Like, name the last interesting thing that happened to Doug Bowser, Nintendo of America president.
Super Mario Bros. 2, the 1,000-Year Door.
Like,
we go to the paper universe in the sequel.
like hell, actual Bowser is turning into a princess, apparently. There's a cat version of him.
That's the joke with Peach's crown, but I don't think it works on other characters.
Well,
Can't remember.
here's the weird thing.
I think it does on Toads.
But yeah, but that's the point that people made, is like, they should have asked Doug about no. Here's the thing, Mr. B, that would have been funny. But no.
No, Jack Black.
There
was
is
Bowser.
I don't think they could have picked a better person to voice Bowser than Jack Black.
Open the gates.
Like that, he went 120% on that voice. Like,
Yeah, you don't recognize that.
I mean, I guess they could have
Poe.
they could have just asked the voice actor who did Bowser originally, but like, still, Jack Black still might have beat that original voice actor.
Bowser singing voice. Yeah, you just can't hear the Poe in Jack Black's voice.
No,
for
yeah,
Bowser, because
I don't think so. Do you yield?
I do not. That is
I
such
do
a good
It's so
line.
good.
And you just obliterates them. It's so
I
good.
see. It's really funny because like we're sitting back with all the knowledge of Bowser across the entire franchise and being like, of course he wouldn't yield. Jack Black is good at not sounding like Jack Black. He really is. Honestly, the part that sounded the most like Jack Black was his singing. Like, that was the point where I was like, okay, this is
I can
just
hear it a
Jack
little.
Black singing. Like, it doesn't sound quite Bowser singing. Like, but yeah, when he's actually being a voice actor, no, he really does a good job at not sounding like Jack Black. So it's like, and that's what I love about good voice actors. The best voice actors don't sound like themselves. Yeah, he's not great at singing as other characters.
And I'm Cleveland.
Yeah, once he starts singing, it's like, oh, no, that's Jack Black.
Oh
But-
boy, we're gonna have fun tonight.
But yeah, it's definitely... Yeah, he's actually a very good voice actor.
Well, there's Pluto.
That is so fucked up.
Pluto.
Like, you keep referencing that, and I don't think most people know what you're referencing because it is
But
so
you-
fucked up.
You do.
It's always out of context. I don't think you've ever used it in context where it made sense.
Because it's hard to explain and it ruins the joke. Guys,
So
just go
fucked up.
Just go look up compilation of Disney bits and Robot Chicken and you'll find what I'm referencing.
And it's not even correct either. That's what's the problem. It's just
I
so
know.
racist. I don't know if I know Jim Cummings, but if he's that good, it's probably because I can't recognize him.
Hey, Boo Boo, you want to try some voice acting?
Okay, Yogi, why not?
I like how Justin Timberlake did a really fucking good Boo Boo impression.
Yeah, the problem with that
It.
movie wasn't the voice acting. The problem with that movie was the fact that they remade Yogi Bear, and it was just like, we didn't need this.
I was one of the few people that enjoyed it because it was so bad.
Oh, singing in the original Lion King? Oh yeah, okay.
It
Honestly,
was.
I always just assumed that was was it Jeremy Irons? Whoever the voice of Scar was, I just assumed that was him.
Yeah, to me, the Yogi
Like-
Bear live action movie was enjoyably bad.
Like, but yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, do you think that Yogi Bear movie deserves a sequel?
Yeah, Mr. B, it really doesn't sound like that's two different people.
See, guys, Older Bro agrees. Yogi Bear for a sequel.
No, in all honesty, here's the thing. Here's my thing on remakes. I'm fine. Okay, I want to be clear. I'm fine with remasters. I'm fine with things where they're like doing like ports, remastered versions of games and stuff like that. That kind of stuff I like. It's taking a game that, you know, people liked and had some problems and updating it and like selling it to like a newer generation and the older generation as well.
So you don't like Disney's live action?
Hold on. So here's the thing. I can enjoy remakes of movies. But with movies, I'm generally... The problem with a lot of Disney remakes is the animated Disney movies are already perfect. There is nothing to improve. Like, what did... Like, here's let's go with an easy elephant in the room, since we're talking about it already. The Lion King. What is there... Like, let's ignore that they remade it for a minute. Let's just talk it as a general concept. If you said, I want to make a Disney remake of The Lion King, the original animated movie, my question for you would be, what is there to improve? We already do re-releases of these movies all the time. We just take them out of the Disney vault and resell them. But if you want to do a remake, what's there to improve? That movie is pretty much perfect as it is. What can you change?
I'd say if the movie had sequels, which a lot of these animated movies, believe it or not, did have sequels, they just weren't big. I'd say you don't need to improve the original, you need to improve the sequels.
Yeah, and that's something that a lot of people have said, like, well, why do we improve good movies? Why don't we redo the bad movies and make them better? And yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and many movies probably deserve to have better versions of themselves.
So I'd say the only reason to make a live-action Lion King is to just improve and remake the sequels.
Yeah, and well, here's the thing. The actual answer to the question that studios want is, well, because it's a way to make more money. And that's kind of the problem with The Lion King. The Lion King is especially atrocious in terms of an actual movie remake. Because it wasn't... There was almost no differences. The movie was pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It was still animated. It was just animated in a more nature documentary animation versus an actual hand-drawn animation. It was literally just... they just made them look like more realistic animals. And that made the show worse by the fact that the characters couldn't emote.
Yeah, they're even remaking the live-action movies into shows. Like the Peter Pan and Wendy Disney show. It's like, Peter Pan's been remade so many times.
Yeah, but that's the problem with that was my problem with the Lion King.
I liked Pan. Pan was really good.
Yeah.
And I thought they were going to continue that.
Yeah.
I don't know if Peter Pan and Wendy is the continuation of that.
I always just assume they're not continuations. Anytime I see a new series or something, it's never a continuation.
Yeah, and now with the Little Mermaid, I just don't think it looks good.
I don't think we talked about this, guys, in the hot take, in one of our hot takes.
No,
I don't think we
didn't.
mentioned this.
No.
But So we went to the theaters to see. I think was it the Mario movie?
Mario and last.
Well, I don't think they had
Suzume.
both. They didn't have both trailers in both movies. It was in one of them. But
It was
But anyways,
one.
yeah. But I think it was the Mario movie. We went to go see that movie, and the trailers had. I think it was it had the Little Mermaid trailer, but it also had, what was that? What was the other movie? The one that was like DreamWorks, I think.
That, you're talking about Migration.
No, not Migration. I mean the one that was the one that I said in theaters. Like, they clearly made this trailer because they announced the Little Mermaid remake, and they said, fuck it, let's capitalize on that. So they just made a better, like, a different show that's clearly aimed at being like a Little Mermaid, like, spin-off. But isn't Disney
yes,
in any way.
The Kraken movie.
Yeah, the Kraken
Teenage
movie.
Kraken.
The Teenage
Yes.
Kraken movie. Where I'm like,
I want to see that.
yeah, it's like, if those came out in the same week, I literally would not go watch The Little Mermaid. I'd go watch Teenage Kraken, because that looks fucking interesting.
Is Teenage Kraken on the list?
I don't think it was, because we didn't know about it.
Write it
was
down.
new. So,
Right.
I'll write it down.
I can't believe I didn't put it on there
Yeah.
yet.
But yeah, so it's like, I looked at that and was like, this was clearly a movie they made, I assume they made it last minute, as a reaction to the Disney Little Mermaid remake. And I'm like,
But even if it is,
I'm like,
it looks
if
so
that is,
good.
it looks so good, and I give more of a shit about it than that Little Mermaid remake that I care nothing about.
Yeah, will we watch it, The Little Mermaid? Probably not in theaters if we do.
I don't think we haven't watched almost any of them. We watched, how many have we watched for the channel? The Lion King and, we watch any of the others for the channel?
I suppose Jungle Cruise.
Because we didn't watch the Jungle Book one, did we?
We watched the Jungle Book one, but I don't think we did a hot take
We didn't
on
do
it.
hot takes on it. I don't think we did hot takes on any other things. And I didn't ever watch Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast too old. We didn't have hot takes at that
It's like,
time.
we didn't have, I haven't watched that one.
So, we've just not been very interested in the live action.
We really just have
remakes.
no, like, what do you want us to
Or
say,
if we
guys?
were interested in it, we just didn't do a hot take.
let me
in it.
let me just, I'll stop right here. This is the hot take for every Disney remake. Watch the original. It's better. I have said everything that needs to be said about every one of these remake movies. The original is better. Watch that.
There was a video I saw on YouTube saying which old Disney classics would make decent live action remakes.
None of them. None of them.
I didn't watch all of them. I didn't watch that video yet, but I'm like,
Here's the thing. There was one live action movie that I actually enjoyed about as much as the original, and that was The Jungle Book.
Jungle Book was decent.
And that's because I actually kind of didn't really care about the ending where he goes off and has sex with that girl. Which, like, I did not really give a shit about that weird fucking ending. So, like, them changing it to be he basically becomes Tarzan and just stays in the forest, I'm like, sure, whatever, I don't care. But, like, it was whatever. It was fine remade. Like, that was the only one that was like, it's fine. Like, it was a fine remake. Did it need to exist? No. Did they actually make an improvement? Yeah, they kind of did, because that ending was fucking weird.
I think there was also a Cinderella remake, but I have not seen it.
Yeah, the Cinderella remake. I think there's been 2 Cinderella remakes since, one by Disney and one a different one. Like, there's been multiple Cinderella remakes since the Disney, since Disney did the live action. Because just like, they just keep redoing that series. But, don't care about any of them. Never have. Just, like, I like Disney movies. I just don't give a shit when they try to remake them.
Yeah, I thought the Lion King live action was okay. Like, I didn't hate it.
Like, look, I'm not a person that has opinions a lot of people agree with. I thought Lion King 1.5 was a good show. Like, I liked that movie.
I agree. Lion King
So,
1.5 was better than...
It was a good movie. I thought that had actual value. I really loved this part of that movie where Timon confessed to what's her name? The main hyena.
Yeah, that was so good.
Shinji Marie.
What was that? Quick
Yeah,
before
like,
the hyena.
That song was fun.
Like,
I really loved the
the
bit where he confessed to Shinji Marie. It was really funny. Like, I know a lot of people don't agree with that. That movie had more heart than the Lion King remake because it not only did it not change anything about the plot of that movie, it just made all the elements worse. It was literally soulless.
I want to say probably the main problem with the Lion King remake was you don't see the emotion on the characters.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's multiple problems. You don't see the emotion on the characters because they're meant to look like real animals that can't emote in the same way. 2, they literally used the same lines. Like, they had John Oliver as not Iago.
Toucan.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. The toucan. They had him be Zazu. They had him be Zazu, and I want to be clear, I thought that was a good casting choice.
Hey, Finn.
Hello, Finn. Thank you. Yeah, they had John Oliver be Zazu. I think that was a good casting choice.
I thought that was great.
That was funny. But the problem is, all of his lines are dry readings of the original lines. They're the same lines.
I bet if he wasn't scripted, oh my god,
Yeah, if he would have been unscripted and been allowed to, like, make some goddamn jokes, he might have been a good Zazu. But they just are like, read these exact word-for-word lines.
I hated that. I'm
It's
sure
like-
John Oliver hated that.
Yeah, it's like he literally called himself the worst version of Zazu on his show. Like, he made fun of himself because he thought it was stupid. Like, that's the problem with these movies, is you first off take away the beautiful animations that people love, and then, in the best case scenarios, they often make no changes or make worse changes. Like,
yeah, Lion King remake is just...
Cummings perfectly made the singing Scar work. They just fucked up by removing the singing part of Be Prepared. It just sucked in this movie.
I hated that. But no, what Lion King remake really is just an Animal Planet documentary.
Yeah, it's an Animal Planet documentary of that movie, and it's not better. And that's the problem, and that's the fundamental place I wanted to get to. If you're going to actually remake a movie, not just remaster it, but remake it, you need to be A, making bigger changes than that, and B, you need to be doing a perfect goddamn job. If you're not at your best, you are going to be slaughtered by critics and fans alike, because you are literally copy-pasting the same goddamn plot again.
There was another Disney remake that we watched and we thought was fine. The Dumbo movie. Let's get ready for Dumbo!
Did we do a video of that?
I think we did do a video of that.
I don't think we did a video of that. I don't remember that.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure. I have a list.
If we didn't do a hot take on it, we must have just not had the time to do it. I remember we talked about it.
Nope.
We
did not
didn't
do that.
it? We must have not have had time.
Yeah, we did not do that.
Dang. But
So,
yeah,
yeah,
guys,
let me
we
be
saw
clear.
the Dumbo movie too.
So,
and
yeah,
thought
let
it
me
was
be
fine.
clear, though. There have been Disney remake movies that had good elements to them. I liked the Bollywood ending of Aladdin. Like, where they go into a full Bollywood song and dance number. That was fun. It did not justify that whole movie.
700 and counting.
Oh, we are at time, by the way.
Oh.
Exactly at time right now. So,
Perfect.
and that's kind of the problem.
Another 5 encounters.
They've had good ideas, they've had good additions, but but they're not worth redoing the whole damn movie for that one single edition.
Like, there has been live-action things on Disney Plus, like Lady and the Tramp happened. I know Pinocchio happened. I know Peter Pan's currently happening.
Yeah. I consider I consider the Disney Plus remakes as basically being the same as direct-to-DVD sequels for the old movies. They basically are just.
I don't know what the Pinocchio thing is. I don't know if it's a show or if it's a movie special or something.
Don't know.
I know Peter Pan and Wendy is a show.
But yeah, it's. Yeah. All that to say, I have never jived with these remakes, and I don't think there are a lot of people that do, but they keep making them because they keep making money. Yeah, that's the problem, is that it's what they're advertising is a remake. What they actually are is demakes. They're actively taking the movie and just making them worse. Like, the animators spent a lot of goddamn time and money on those movies.
I'd say Resident Evil is more of a remake than...
Yeah, that's the thing. They are. Resident Evil 2 remake was absolutely a remake.
Yeah, 2, 3,
over
and
2.
4.
Yeah, 3 was a remake. Even the original 1 remake that was on the GameCube, that was a remake of the original Resident Evil. That was a remake.
Yeah, I think
this is not a fucking remake.
I think we'll get a Resi 1 remake eventually, but I think they've said they're doing 5 next.
I was gonna say Resi 1 remake. Maybe they should call it. Maybe they should call it like Resi 1 reversed.
They can't because I think their reverse stuff is their online multiplayer thing that they do.
Okay, fine. Then we'll call it Rebirth 1. How about Resident Evil Resi 1 Remansioned? We'll just go back to that mansion for the, like, what, 3rd time? Maybe more?
Oh, yeah, I would love a current style Resi 1 remake game. That would be so good. By the way, guys, we did plan to play Resident Evil 1 for the channel. Around the time we were trying to play Lego Star Wars 3 Complete Saga and Metroid Prime 1.
Yeah.
But we couldn't for all 3 games because we were having emulator issues for all of them.
Yeah, you've got to remember, guys.
Well, no, Metroid Prime, we just got bored.
You have to remember, guys. The current computer we do emulation on is the 3rd computer. Like, this is the computer we started on is my personal computer. That computer is actively trash and probably needs thrown out because it is that unusable. Like, it should never have had anything installed on it, let alone RetroArch, one of the most power-hungry softwares that you can do in gaming. Like, just, you should never install. Never install RetroArch on that first computer.
Yeah, we've had to not do a lot of games because of that computer.
Yeah, so that's why we loved when we got the second computer, which became our emulation computer and has worked hugely better. And now we've taken the first computer completely out of rotation. It's now back to being my personal computer.
Yeah, nowadays, because we got this 3rd computer, we might have to replace all the computers with this kind of computer because of how good it is.
The thing is, I don't want to do that specifically because this computer is fine, but it's also so new it has problems.
It has problems.
So I really want to wait for there to be new motherboards that can... something that can actually handle this hardware a little bit better.
Yeah, the only issue we have on the 3rd computer is it keeps depowering ports.
Yeah.
Like, we can't... it's when we turn off and on the
computer.
computer.
The 4080 Ti, or I don't actually know if it's Ti, but the 4080 NVIDIA card we have is extremely power hungry and extremely intensive. So, it really, really is not, it's something you absolutely want when you're doing emulation of any level, but god damn does it not run perfectly yet.
Okay, guys, that is going to have to be it for today's episode. So like and subscribe to YouTube and Twitch. Comment to your videos if you do read them. Follow on Twitch, and we'll see you guys in the next Shiny Hunt. We are at 705 encounters. Goodbye.
Good night, everyone.